Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PUBG Mobile Ruthless Night of Champions, where joining me is Flavor, and as always, it's your boy Contra to be accompanying you throughout the entirety of the evening. This is day 2 of the scrims, and I can't wait to get right into action. First, welcome back, Flavor. It's been a long while. How have you been, buddy?
Yeah, I've been great, and it's truly an honor to actually be back here. Of course, Scrims day number 2. And of course, you had your fair chance of fun together with Cloud yesterday, Wednesday, day number 1. And I believe that everyone, for those of you not managed to actually join in for yesterday, hopefully you guys are able to actually watch the recap back, as we do have our full live stream available here on the channel for day number 1. But if you do miss out on all the action, in a few short moments, we're going to do a little bit of recap on what has transpired, who's currently in the lead, who's currently in second page, and what we can anticipate and expect here in day number 2.
Yeah, that's right. That's definitely a whole lot to cover. But looking at what really went on from yesterday, it really seemed like it's an Indonesian-dominated circuit for day 1, where we've got big wins from both BIGETRON teams, Knights as well as NG, and also wins coming in from VOIN Donkey. And I do believe that there was also another round that was coming in from RRQ. I definitely will have to recheck on some of these facts out there. But first, definitely a whole lot to witness, as we do have some of the finest teams from Southeast Asia, South Asia, and Mongolia to be competing in this circuit, and you know it's definitely going to be a good time. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and as well as the like button, as we provide to you the best PUBG Mobile action. So here we are, as we're on day 2 of the scrims, and then we'll take a day's break to get right into the finals, where we go for 3 days of action-packed Smash day. And for today, it's only going to be 4 matches to be played out.
Oh, yes. And of course, this is going to be the last day here on the Scrim segment. Tomorrow onwards, we're going to be witnessing the finals, where we're going to be back on track with the usual 6 matches per day. And of course, if you haven't been following us on our point system, the point system are as follows provided over here. You get points from 1st up to 8th place. For 9th and above, you will not be getting points. And of course, here is the tournament schedule you're looking at. We're currently here on Wednesday, October 2nd, where we're still having our second and final day of Scrim segment, and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, which will be the finals.
That's right. My bad. I thought that there was going to be a break, but I absolutely got, of course, a little bit woozy right there. So it's just action all round throughout the course of the week, all the way down to Saturday. So make sure you guys stay put, as we will be giving you some of the finest games from all these best performing teams across Southeast Asia, or should I just say in Asia Pacific in general, where we have all these huge names like STALWART Esports, BIGETRON, RRQ, and as a matter of fact, BIGETRON with their second roster coming into play. It's definitely very exciting to witness that they've been able to hold up alongside with FALCONS, FaZe Clan, Team Secret, and VOIN Donkey.
Oh, yes. And of course, these are your 16 teams that will be competing here for today. They were around yesterday as well. Just a short shout out to everyone we have from Vampire Esports, Xavier, Roy Esports, Alliance. We have Team Secret, FaZe Clan, RRQ View, as well as BIGETRON Knights.
Yeah, and all these names are absolute heart hitters moving into the circuit, and I can't wait to get right back into the mix. Where yesterday it may seem very much like a top Indonesian dominant performance, but it definitely will change heading into day 2, where I believe that teams are definitely looking to adjust their strategies before they get themselves into the finals, where day 1, it's probably a little bit more of a test run for some of these guys out there at the very least. But hey, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Overall, we are having a very competitive field of play. So that being said, I believe that we're gonna kick off on our first couple of maps in a moment's time. And yesterday's MVP is none other than the member of Team Falcon, and it is Top.
Oh yeah, and of course this is going to be a big one. Team from Team Falcon himself, or to be exact, Falcon's Force. I think I'm a little bit unsure of this, because Team Falcon on their own, they also have their own roster, but this one is actually from Falcon's Force, where they're actually a 7-month-old team after acquiring from Skyforce back in March, and then they recently had in August East join the team. Funny thing about them is that they are actually ex-STALWART esports players, but early on this year, they were acquired, they disbanded, and then they became Skyforce, and then they acquired by Falcons. So, and both of the teams are actually competing over here. So it's quite nostalgic. It's quite interesting to see, you know, like ex players from previous team engage up against your own ex teams here in the competition. And of course, we're going to be looking at the road to MVP over here. So some amazing top links being featured here. Of course, we cover up from Team Falcons. We also have from ASI, we have Falak, our, I think, main grenadier from their side. We have from Federalis, of course. I believe that this has been highlighted yesterday already. We have from Satarles, from BIGETRON, as well as Hansil here on 5th place.
Yeah, they've been performing outstandingly well. Both BIGETRON Knights as well as BIGETRON NG have really showed that they have absolutely what it takes to be able to really close out games, so long as they make their consistent run right into the top 4. And if we take a look at the race for number 1, Fala still remains to be the top guy to beat, where he has been really putting up major damage across the block, but is definitely being matched by Satar with those 12 elimination points, while Top is just 1 point away, while he has definitely did the most part possible. So Team Falcons, I'm definitely keeping my eyes onto them on whether or not will they be able to get a whole lot more done for this final day of the scrims.
Yeah, I'm not surprising Falak over there because he was the Grenade Master as well as the Week 2 Terminator at the PMSL Fall 2024, which was very, very recent itself. Mr. Falak Shear. So him being there with 12 limbs, yes, he does have the damage there as well. So comes to no surprise. I do believe that there's more coming up from here in the competition. Of course, the thing that we're looking forward to is seeing the overall rankings for those who missed out on all the Pubg Mobile actions yesterday, number 1. Of course, if you're together with Contra and Sir Cloud, you may have seen this. This is the overall ranking. We have BIGETRON NG in 1st place, followed by BIGETRON Knights in 2nd, VOIN Donkey in 3rd, and RRQ View in 4th. And as you mentioned, Contra, these 4 teams from Indonesia not only dominating the leaderboards, but each and every one of them has one winner chicken dinner under their belt. But a big shout out here to ASI and Esports is still holding on to that 5th place here in the overall rankings.
Yeah, overall, when we take a look at the top 8, it still remains to be very competitive, where they're definitely within touching distance of getting into the top spot. It's all about having a very consistent run heading to today. Meanwhile, Team Falcons, a lot of the efforts were coming in from Top himself, so I really want to see whether if they have a whole lot more where he just run rampaging against certain teams back in Miramar, bagging 7 points by his own, and I'm pretty sure that they definitely want to improve on their placements. And for the rest of the pack, I believe that there's definitely a whole lot more work to be done here. Then, lucky enough for some of these guys, it's just about scrim time, so by the time that they move into the finals, that's where they will definitely mean serious business. But of course, nonetheless, it will be a really fun matchup, as we do have 4 back-to-back rounds. We start off in ERANGEL as we do rotate into Miramar in between these maps as well. So that's how it will be played out in terms of rotation. But ERANGEL is where all the early action could happen, where we have seen quite a number of teams actually going for hot drops. I'm excited to see if we're still going to get that battle between The Savior as well as HARAME Bros. Both sides definitely are strong champions of the Vietnam region and also the Philippines.
Oh yeah, and of course that is definitely something to behold and something definitely everybody's looking forward to over here. And of course, ERANGEL being the first map, we're only featuring big maps anyways for today's, right? It's a different feel. I think we're too used to watching 6 matches per day. I think for 4 matches, I think this is easy peasy for most of the teams because they used to play more matches before. Now, coming into ERANGEL itself, the thing is, you know, initially we had a discussion, Contra, in regards to which team you think is going to be having the winner chicken dinner. Now, based on statistics, all right, based on what we observed in day number 1, we see that 4 out of 5 Indonesian teams being featured here in the competition has really gotten themselves a winner chicken dinner. The only one left out is none other than Alter Ego at the current moment. So I do believe that probably this is their time to shine. They can't be the only Indonesian teams left out without the winner chicken dinner after such a successful run by the other Indonesian teams so far.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of Alter Ego fans who are currently watching where they're thinking, hey, what's really going on? But honestly, there's not much to be worried about because knowing Rosemary, when there's no stakes involved, they go ahead and have a whole lot of fun, whether if they just take those early fights or so, which we actually get to see a plenty of. So that being said, it's prediction time. So Flava, I heard that you want to go in with your votes for Alter Ego. Is that going to be the case? I'll let you choose first.
No, here's the thing. Jokes aside, I want to put my faith on ASIA on this one. The thing is, they played quite well in day number 1, despite not having any winner with chicken dinner so far yet, but still being placed in 5th among some giants here who are on your road towards PMGC. Yeah, I'm gonna bank in on them on this one.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about ASIA as well. Since you've already picked it, I think that Falcons, they've been looking really, really strong. And just the individual performance coming from top, also aka Murder ZZ, who's been stellar throughout the whole run. You saw the damage output. He's above everybody else. Imagine if they just refine it a little bit. So my pick is definitely Team Falcons.
Wow, quite an interesting choice. But then, of course, we're very open to actually listen out to what our production team will be predicting on this one. But speaking of Team Falcons, they are a big name here. Everybody knows they are the Esports World Cup champions, basically the club champions. And of course, carrying such a big name under the belt and, running the competition. There's a lot of eyeballs here. Looking forward to how well they can actually perform here, despite it being a scream. But of course, it tells a lot of tales of what they can actually offer here in the Pubg Mobile Esports ecosystem. If it doesn't reflect and show here, and the Scrims, probably will see more of them happening in the main event, which is happening tomorrow onwards up to the next 3 days.
Sure enough, and overall, like, we're having such a stacked lobby. I'll be happy if anybody actually takes it as well, other than what we've actually seen so far. But based on production, they're thinking that RRQ is going to continue on with another streak to be the first team to get that second chicken dinner. So perhaps that will be the case because we've seen the Petco and the usual bunch to be really consistent in their performances. So it definitely is a very good shout. Meanwhile, I would expect that both BIGETRON teams to be tearing some names in the lobby based on what we've seen so far from yesterday, or it could be otherwise. It really depends on how would they really want to adjust their form of playstyle. But if they're sticking to what they have known best, it's been a solid, consistent top 4 finish for almost both of the squad. So that's where, of course, all the fans will be looking at BTR as well to be one of the top dogs in this tournament. Whereas, there's still names like Alliance, which have been able to get better runs into Miramar. So it definitely has been an interesting form that certain teams have been displaying to us in those couple of rounds that we had from yesterday. If you guys missed some of that, you can always check out the VODs, but make sure you guys hit that sub button as well as like, because we will be having a lot of amazing games to be played out throughout the course of the week. And here we go. We got the timer on the screen as well. Flava, let's get this show underway.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, it is day number 2. It's a brand new day. And these teams are all freshed up and ready to bring their A game here into the map. It is going to be ERANGEL as our first map of the day here at the competition. Now, who's going to be starting up things right? Who's going to be on the right foot here for the Pubg Mobile Ruthless Night of Champions by Ruthless Esports?
Taking a very quick look into the initial flight. It does cut over from the corners of the western end as it will bypass Primors. I believe this might actually skew close towards STALWART, and yes, indeed. So access to the island is still plausible, I would say, if teams want to go ahead, grab a boat or certain vehicles to move into the islands. But this is rather generous still, where teams could be able to take the pick of the litter. But looking at the current situation, I've mentioned before that we've seen battles taking place inside Pachinki. I would expect this Savior as well as Harame Bros to be doing exactly the same, because these two champions of each regions, they've always helped Pachinki. So it's all about that ego and play as well, where you really want to establish some control. It took a long while. Harame Bros managed to best the Savior, but they were left with only 1 man, and it really took like maybe about stage 2 where they're fighting inside of the zone for them to sell the score. Would this be the case again? We shall see in a moment in time.
Oh yeah, and of course it is within the flight path itself. It's really in the center of what you're mentioning, Contra. And very curious to see if that is going to be the plan that these two teams would like to take on. Will we be seeing some early actions? All this and more will be happening very soon. Of course, in a few short moments, we're going to be seeing some of the landing spots for most of these teams and what their upcoming game plan might be once the circle has emerged. And of course, the circle is going to be on the southeast side here, which means that some of the teams like FaZe Clan, Falcon, together with ESIA, they have to move a little bit, which is on the further side, might need to make a move towards the east side really, really quick so they can actually get some really good placements here on the map. And here we go. And of course, our observer here is currently on Team D Xavier. And of course, Team D Xavier, the thing about them is that they are tired. Tired of what, Contra? They're tired of being second because they have been second in the PMSLC fall. They were second in summer. And worst case for them is that it's quite unfortunate because they're so close to actually doing so well in the recent fall. But unfortunately, they lost out due to 18th place. They were not on the round of 18. They were not able to actually accumulate enough points to overtake the first place winners.
Yeah. Overall, it's still a decent showing coming from them, but Alter Ego, they're known to be fighters, but they're currently locked into this situation where Octa is currently in the direct center. He's been able to at least garner some good information to actually play off from. So I really want to see how Stalwart Esports actually take up this fight. Decent weaponries. We've only got SMGs as well as shotguns, but we've seen a whole lot of great range coming from even micro Uzis to be at play. Which that's going to be the choice of weapon for Octa. It might be able to actually spot one of these players running around the restaurant while there is a player on the flank as well. Perhaps the rest of Alter Ego Aries, they're just waiting for the right moment to strike. And yes, they will secure that first knock against Secure. Meanwhile, just take a look at such a hole where Stalwart Esports, even despite that member being knocked, they are trying their very best to actually get right into restaurant, as they are going to be sending one of the members to go in for the pickup, but they don't really want to overcommit. The good news is Octa does not have any form of grenades other than those smokes provided, so they should be okay until now. He steps right into the range of Octa.
All you need is that little bit of vision for Octa to actually do a little bit of action here upon their opponents. Things are slightly not looking too well for Stalwart Esports. You have to make do with what you have at this current moment. We have here Jirag throwing out some nade with hopes that he can actually do something about it. But so far right now, we do see a little bit of firepower. It is a 4v2 situation here within the premises. And yet, this time about, it's going to be a return kill coming off of Stalwart Esports. But was still able to actually get yet another. And here comes on Jirag as well.
Oh boy. A very long tussle between these two teams out there, as we do see Boyshil hoping to secure the point. The rest of the members of Stalwart Esports didn't really seem to find any form of gains in the skirmish, while you just got this godly angle coming in from Octa. He's now being dealt with the tough cards, getting rushed by the entirety of Alter Ego Aries. So that is absolutely clean. 4 points now being gained by the Indonesian side, and they're absolutely showing up a better performance heading to day 2.
Yep, high risk, high rewards over there, and it is going to side towards Alter Ego Esports here at this first map of the day. Unfortunately, Stalwart Esports will bow down here in 16th place. It's not. I do believe that they were not able to actually get anyone over there, so I do believe that there's going to be a clean pickup coming on from Alter Ego Aries at this point. Meaning they have 4 healthy players left on their side. They managed to get 4 elimination kills at this point into the match.
Yeah, take a look at the updated circle as well. It is centered around the regions of Milta, so it is going to be a little bit of a tough ordeal for those who are coming in from the west side, namely Vampire Esports. Harame Bros have decided to switch things up. They're no longer dropping in Pachinki, as they know that maybe it's better for them to get better practices done than to actually commit to a fight up against the Savior. So, smart options where they vow to seek out alternatives, but the problem is they are really far off VOIN Donkey now goes for a catch, and this fight I really don't want to see. RRQ Ryu, one member down as VOIN Donkey immediately goes for the takedown. There is going to be another player sent off, but they will continue on with their journey. They are not going to be stopping for anything at all.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was definitely interesting on how they have been holding on to this region of school, and it looks like they really want to commit to this. I don't really see RQ budging off just yet.
Yeah, at this moment, everyone has to make really good decisions how to make a point of entry into all this. There's already a few teams that gather out in the center of the circle. It just feels like the teams are ready to go up against one another, but I'm guessing that it's not time at all. Meanwhile, we're looking at RRQ Ryu. They do spot out the team on the other end. So this is going to be, I do believe this is going to be VOIN Donkey. This so happens to be the team that has the organizer that has the most unique logo I have ever seen. And I do understand because due to their collab between the organization itself, yeah, very, very unique, I would say. Shout out to them over here. But things are not looking so well. We do see a little bit of movement coming over RRQ view at this moment. VOIN not making any moves. This could just be a bait as you do see one vehicle just going back and forth here with the vehicle.
Sure enough, and overall, it's going to be Team Secret. This is another team that has been super consistent from yesterday's run and now looking to strike down some of the finest of Indonesia. But here comes Portugal coming in with a jump shot, finds one. Break tries to trade right back with a grenade being blobbed right there. And now it's all about fighting till the breaking point. Speaking of break, he's going to be tossing that grenade. Going up against Rosemary, the best player of Indonesia, seeking out, and he's going to be able to please weather the storm. Though there is a knock, but there's not much to be made out of Team Secret. Unfortunately, they get taken out very early on, and that makes 8 points for Alter Ego.
Wow. So basically, they are the team that knocks out the first two teams over here. Quite an amazing early aggression coming off from them. It's either Alter Ego is just looking for people to be hunted down, or it just so happens that they have to force a team fight to actually happen over here. Of course, you don't want to be in the eyes of Alter Ego area. They are here to win it, and I might just regret not predict them to actually win this, because we had this discussion, Contra, that they are the only team here from Indonesia who have not secured a winner chicken dinner after a back-to-back winner chicken dinner from the other Indonesian teams.
Yeah, that's why they say we've had enough of watching all these other Indonesians getting all the chicken dinner. They want one for themselves as well. While we talk about Indonesian squads, VOIN Donkey committed to that fight against RRQ, and they managed to deal the final blow. We see another fight that break loose, and now 3 teams are already off the list. So it is going at a very rapid pace where FaZe Clan is also coming into close proximity up against VOIN Donkey. There is relative distance, though, for coverage. So teams will be giving each other a little bit of space of respect at the very least. Long angles coming in from FaZe Clan. They get spotted by the rest of Roy Esports. Holding by the bowl, but it's not going to be the best situation possible because the circle has already shifted further down into the middle section. So Roy Esports, they probably will take this opportunity to look for an entry into the zone while they will ditch that buggy. Now, this will be pretty interesting because we are seeing separate sides of Roy Esports going on different vehicles. Whereas HARAME Bros, they go in for that late entry, getting shot. Range is already smoking up. Not exactly the best sign that we're looking at for the side of HARAME Bros. Usually they start off the first game with 3 members. I hope that the next game onwards we'll see all 4 remaining intact. Now Sprays on top of Roy, unable to blow out the vehicle with that one clip out there, unfortunately for Nachi.
Yep, still safe for now, but of course, BIGETRON Knights, Haji Asep has his eyes set on a team over here. Unsure he just spotted them out, but tries to do a little bit scouting for the team. He's really out there, really in the open, trying to get a little bit of covers here by Sky Soccer. Roads have to be careful. So just in case, of course, clearing out those tires in case the team is actually utilizing the vehicle as well. So BIGETRON Knights so happens to be one of the teams making it to the group stages of the PMGC. And just for everyone's information, 15 out of 16 teams being featured here in this competition have already made it to the Pubg Mobile Global Championship group stage itself. Yeah, so qualifying stage. So it's just quite amazing. And the only team that doesn't make it's not there, which is here, is BIGETRON NG.
True enough, and overall, I've been liking what I'm seeing coming from some of all these top team of the Asian region. While we're looking at a very close proximity between both BIGETRON teams, Knights as well as NG, they're about to go in for the collapse. But take a look at the far western end. There's just so difficult of an area to play out for the side of Falcons, where they will have to fight every step of the way, and that's where we will get a whole lot of action. Speaking of action, of course, is on the very left side of the flank. They're trying to clear out some of all these areas where we see a drive-through. It's just going to be a little bit of bait and switch as the rest of ESI says, I dare you to go and take a peek because Falcon is ever ready. Beautiful shot coming from Murder. How did he even spot that?
Oh yeah, the moment he spotted Summer, he is able to actually pick him up. That bait did not manage to sight to what ASI. It does seem that they were not able to actually get anyone here from Team Falcons. Instead, ASI8 here is on the defense. Valak here, of course, we do know him as our main Grenadier MVP. Trying to make some miracles happen here with some nitros on him. This will push Team Falcons to move forward as the blue circle is currently on them right now, Contra.
Yeah, Top definitely shows why he has been the final boss for many of times, but Fala has also been sharp on his attack as well, getting 1-for-1, but the rest of Falcons, they already lose 2 members in the process. Not really having the best of zone control, but they are sending IC to deal with this onwards approach. Getting caught up by SA's Lay. FaZe Clan now chiming in, going as third party, trying to steal some points away. It's gonna be Top! Taken down by the rival of 4 Miracle Vibes.
Woo.
But it has been a very difficult stance. It is not to their fault because the zone does not favor them at all, but what a fight that they really put up against the rest of TSIA. Just third party on third party, and speaking of which, Falak made a very dire effort to try to move into the city of Milta, but unable to even reach because Roy Esports have already held out towards the outskirts of the compound, make it difficult, and as we say, that is Paragen that steals that point away.
It's third party after third party happening here. There's multiple parties on different parts of the map here who's trying to get well, a slight edge for themselves over here. It does seem that Easy is going to be one getting on that. Fala couldn't really get a good angle to actually rejuvenate himself and get himself away from that tight spawn. Of course, here we do see FaZe Clan inside the building, right outside, waiting for them. Is yet another team. How are they going to approach this here? For MV on the high ground, they do have a much better vision, and they did manage to actually let out some shouts. MIRAMAR is currently on the ground over here. Makes it even harder for SA to actually go and provide any form of support at this current moment. Meanwhile, our production team is also displaying the current circle, displaying all the teams and where they are situated in currently on the map on ERANGEL.
It's definitely a little bit of the open space over onto the eastern corner map. They can actually go in for a factory claim so long as Savior could actually get themselves across, but it's definitely not an easy task at all, considering that many of these teams are around that Milta region, eyeing out for the kills at the very same time. More names appear on the feed as we have Rocky taken down. Chop shots once again coming from the rest of Alter Ego. They really do hunt out for all these points. Here comes Koji though. Beautiful nade connects onto Schweppes perfectly within the room. So that's gonna be a free one-pointer out there, but now you do see Tony K making his advancements. Yesterday, Tony K did not seem to get much of a game time, but today he is back into the squad's main roster. 3 members now being sent right in alliance on their stands. Hoping to actually defend this well enough while we still have more fights taking place. It's going to be FaZe Clan that will rack those 2 pointers up against Roy Esports.
Oh yeah, and of course, Roy Esports will be eliminated here in 11th place, not being able to secure any. Oh, they did manage to actually get one over here, managed to get one elimination points for themselves. But of course, with Q back with action here in between Team Alliance up against Team Vampire Esports. Flax with some shotgun action here on its side, manages to eliminate Vampire Esports here within the premises. Alliance will be able to hold their ground. They must take on over here, but meanwhile, these Xaviers having the fight of their own over here.
Ooh boy, the Savior. I think they've been battling for a very long time now. They still couldn't really deal with a couple more members decided for MV who has been able to actually make their advancements. Only left with one though. While it's been rather explosive in the early span of the match. But these Savior, they are holding their ground pretty tightly so. Only losing Paragon where he was playing on the outskirts of the hill early on. What a tap! I can barely see anything at all. I'm just surprised how Levi's actually do it with only a 3x scope. Well, that's the level of performance that we do expect coming from some of the finest of Asia, where we now see Lapar going up against their brothers coming in from BIGETRON and G. Tries to get to push through. Voxy does connect the nade towards Denfos as we see an all-out trade between both sides of BIGETRON, while it's only down to Zuxi. I wonder if they're going to be able to actually get much. Move on the corner of the zone as well. He has to pull back. Satar gets taken down. And Haji Asif, Lapar tries to go in for a big maneuver. He gets to gold clip, sent towards that edge, but he's in the zone. There's not much to be done. BIGETRON and G survive, but comes with a cost.
Oh yeah, one Bigatron will come out alive and one will be eliminated over here. What a battle in between these two top-end and Asian teams. Of course, we're locked out with only 7 teams left and 17 people alive with the Blue Circle at stage number 5 at this current moment. We do see Alter Ego still alive with the most elimination points here, which is at 8 at this current moment. Followed up in second, we have Team Alliance. Meanwhile, here, the Xavier having a shootout here against 4 Miracle Vibes. Unfortunately, 4 Miracle Vibes will be bowing out here in 7th place with 3 elimination points.
It's a really tough round out there. But quickly as we go, it's only stage 5, and we're only left with a couple of teams on the board. Alliance so far playing it very diligently, getting great control over the course of Milta. Now it's really down to Harame Bros. Left with only range. Federal is already taken out prior. Nate beautifully locked, blows out the door. And it seems like the rest weren't exactly ready to take him on, but they will still finish the job nevertheless. Interesting stance. But of course, when you're only left with 1 member, there's only so much that can be done right there.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
That being said, we're now down to all these 5 teams. Everyone's a little battered and bruised, but I couldn't say the same between these 3 squads left available. Alter Ego, VOIN Donkey, Alliance, they have healthy squad strength remaining.
Oh yeah, I think most of them has the, I think it's an okay number, I would say. None of them, except for Alliance, has a full stack on their end. 2 of them are in critical at this current moment. They're still doing okay. Alliance is in a very good spot. They're directly center in the circle. Meanwhile, we do see the Xavier has to find a point of entry here up against VOIN Donkey. But it's kind of a sandwich because if you see here, team members of VOIN Donkey is literally right in front of Alter Ego. So they have to be really careful. They're stuck here inside the building. So if Alter Ego needs to do something, they have to make an entry and force the team back coming up from the outside towards the inside over here. But there's no rush. Circles coming on very, very slowly. They're still within on the inside as well. Leviso, Guachong also making the move. Nade connects, not enough to actually take him down here. Needs to go for a little bit of recovery. One's getting hit by heavy fire. And the palm needs to drop on side, but it's not able to connect. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Hitting him in the face.
He needed himself.
Oh.
That's a little bit of a blunder right here, overcooking that grenade, and now that actually leaves a little bit more of that space for the rest of V-Saber to actually march right through. very low health members coming in from the side of the Saber. Levi will try to go in for the recovery while Rocky's is holding by the outskirts. Both sides, Rocky into the compound, and that's a beautiful spin coming from the side of Nan. Still got to check with the edge, and yes, they will secure it. VOIN Donkey on the rampage of that 5 points secured, but here comes the rest of Alliance looking to engage on the weakened side of VOIN Donkey, and this could look to be really good. Speaking of which, Jimmy OP goes in for the hot pursuit, drops in that beautiful nade, gets one knock, trying to clear up the top corner map where there's only gonna be Nan. He does actually find that trade. Now down to Jimmy. He's gonna go in for a rush. Is he gonna be able to at least seek them out? Little do they know is actually over on lower ground, and eventually it's gonna be Nan bowing out. So Alliance here, they are battered, bruised. They need to go in for a quick recovery, and the rest of Alter Ego Aries, they see this as an opportunity to strike.
Oh yeah, the Lions doing a little bit here up here, and VOIN Donkey, but Alter Ego is going to do the same thing on them right now, bringing on the heat towards them. It's going to be a battle between the Alter Ego Aries. Now they've had a really good run here from the start of the map, running through it with the C99. It's also going to be on Toji, who is also on the look over here, but instead it's going to be siding towards Alliance over here. Firepower over firepower. Alliance gets on top. Alter Ego Aries will be eliminated here in third place.
Yo, that was crazy. They were barely surviving, going in for that recovery, and I just feel like it was an overzealous attempt coming in from the rest of these members of Alter Ego Aries. This could have been their chicken dinner to take. Perhaps they were just a little bit too hasty on their approach. Now it's going to be a 2 versus 1. Hunt versus the rest of the lines. Toji now going for a wraparound. Jimmy OP also leading the pack, trying to actually hunt out. They've already seen the shots, so Toji going on a little bit of a ride as they're hoping to actually bring the fight up close and personal. And there you have it, ladies and gents. First chicken dinner secured by the Alliance.
Wow, what a way to end things up. Alliance forcing the way to clearing up the VOIN Donkey despite getting barraged. Soon after that happened by Alter Ego Aries, they were actually able to recover, reset themselves, and bring on the heat towards them and make it a win here in this match number 1. What a way to finish. It is going to be Team Alliance, and it so happens to be the only representative from Malaysia here, Contra.
That's right. It's actually a great showing since yesterday's runs of Miramar, and here they have arrived in today to looking ever ready to take on everybody else. It was a really calm approach, and it's great that they have been able to hold true, especially on that compound defense. After taking down some of these members of VOIN Donkey, they just pop a couple of smokes and just cause a little bit of stir up against these members of Alter Ego Aries, because that game supposedly looked very likely like an Alter Ego game, but it was what it was. Great job of being done by Toji as well as Jimmy Opio, aka Kasim, that's been able to really haul massive points out there. And also we see the recovery coming in from Alter Ego, which is great to see. So BIGETRON NG, they have bested their brothers moving into the top 3, but the MVP is Real FAZE. I gotta check whose name this is because they like to switch things around. But
I agree.
Look at that. 6 elimination points is absolutely massive.
Oh yeah, I do agree on this. But yeah, shout out to Alliance. A great start for Malaysia here on day number 2. And shout out to the team manager side and Most Goku, the coach, for a great performance here by their team. And I think that we had to wait until the last part of the map for us to actually see some action happening on the Alliance side. Alter Ego had a great run. We see some amazing action from the start all the way up to the finish. I believe that they should be happy with their performance. They managed to grab in some really good elimination points for themselves, but unfortunately they were not able to actually get the chicken dinner that they were looking for here in this game number. Hopefully the elimination points is enough and sufficient to place them at the top here in the overall rankings at this point.
Fair enough. And overall, of course, these performances, it can vary heading into all the other upcoming games. Whereas it's been massive points acquired. It's 24 for Alliance, 14 for Alter Ego Aries, and 10 points apiece for BIGETRON NG as well as VOIN Donkey. We're still looking at a very dominant side for majority of the Indonesian spawns, but a big bounce back performance coming from FaZe Clan, the Savior, as they've been able to also gain massively in this matchup alone. So many more to go. Don't worry if your favorite team is not really moving up to speed just yet, because up next, Miramar will give them a lot more spacing to play out.
I have to agree on that because Miramar, there are some teams here who do work wonders on different maps, and Miramar is more towards an open space. But before we talk a little bit on that as well, now our top 3 teams is none other than Indonesian teams. BIGETRON NG still holding on to that #1 spot. VOIN Donkey goes up 1 rank and currently in second. BIGETRON Knights drop from second to third, but Alliance gain up to 8 placing points over here and currently in 4th place, putting Malaysia in top 4. RRQ Ryu dropped to 5th place. CSA Esports, previously 5th place, dropped to 6th. For Miracle Vibes, still considered 7th over here. And of course, this is our second page team over here. There's not much changes going on except for Team Secret jumping from page #1 down to page #2. And Alter Ego Aries, yes, they are still in 2nd place. They went up 4 placement points from 14th place all the way up to 10th at the current moment.
Yeah, overall, it's been a massive pile of points. As you can see, that a lot of all these teams are now matching up to the pacing already. Any teams with 20 over points should be able to breach into the first pager in maybe a couple of instances. But for now, it's a really solid start that we're looking at. The Lions have been able to break that Indonesian streak of day 1, and we're definitely looking for a whole lot more on what they have to offer in these upcoming rounds. But, you know, that being said, I believe that we're just getting ourselves prepared for round 2. So don't go anywhere. We'll take a couple minutes and we'll be right back for more.
Ladies and gents, welcome back once again, if you've just joined in, to the PUBG Mobile Ruthless Night of Champions, brought to you by Ruthless Esports. My name is Leva, together with my good buddy over here, Contra, and we're back again after the conclusion of the first map, which was ERANGEL just a while ago, and boy, oh boy, did we manage to see some amazing stuff happen. If you did miss out on all the action, we saw Team Alliance from Malaysia getting the first winner chicken dinner of the day, which didn't look too promising for them, but they did manage to secure it after having such a gruesome fight against some strong teams here at the end of the round, Contra.
Yeah, I would still say that I'm impressed that they managed to overwhelm some of these members of Alter Ego Ares, because you saw how many teams that Alter Ego have taken down in that process, and they've managed to hold out despite initially dealing with the troubles coming in from VOIN Donkey with multiple members being knocked. So I was really surprised and pleased at the very same time that they managed to be able to pull through. So that was a chicken dinner streak that was broken by the Malaysian team. I'm pretty sure that Alter Ego Ares is still looking for it. Same goes to all the other spots out there. But it's time for predictions yet again. Do you think this is where Alter Ego comes in for the revenge? So what's your take on this?
Oh man, I have to share this. Initially, I really thought I wanted to predict Alliance for this MIRAMAR map, because they are a much better team when it comes to this map compared to ERANGEL. But then after seeing them having that winner chicken dinner on that map number 1, I'm guessing that it's best for me to actually predict a different team this time about. So I think I'm placing in a Vampire Esports for this particular map.
Oh, that's a really good call. And moving into this matchup, I do believe that For Miracle Vibes have always shown a very strong side to MIRAMAR matches. So I guess that is where I'm going to be putting my eggs into the basket for now. So hopefully they will be able to really show us something really special.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's quite unfortunate because in the first map, I initially wanted to actually place my bets on ASIA. Unfortunately, did not manage to perform as well as it should be here on that ERANGEL match. So I do hope they're able to actually get back on their feet here in the next remaining matches. And of course, production team has locked on their prediction. It's going to be on BIGETRON and G, which is currently in first place here in the overall rankings.
Yeah, BIGETRON and G so far has been, very consistent. They even overwhelmed some of these members of the main roster of BIGETRON Knights, which is rather surprising to some of the audiences out there. But you see familiar names like Voxy that have shown up in some of all these prior tournaments playing for even different teams. He has definitely been the prodigy that has been able to really show up in some of all these occasions. But I'm still looking at all the other squads, because I always believe that there should be a little bit of a fair fight other than Indonesian dominance, but we take what we can get.
Oh yeah, that's true. And of course, you guys have to remember this. Out of all 16 teams that's being featured here, BIGETRON and G is the only team that is currently not in the PMGC qualified group stage teams, I would say. Yeah, so the other teams have already made their way to it. That particular segment, BIGETRON and G is not in there. With them being first, they can fare well. Imagine this. Another side team under the BIGETRON banner is able to actually go neck and neck against some of the best PUBG Mobile teams here in the world, which speaks volumes by the way, Contra. Yeah, and they managed to beat BIGETRON Knights in the BIGETRON versus BIGETRON engagement in that map number 1 was just insane. So any one of them could have made it to PMGC, and yeah, it could have been Knights, could have been NG up here, based on what we just saw just now.
True enough, and overall, this is just Scrim regardless. So kind of wish we actually do get to see, two sides of BIGETRON really fighting for a title, and then you can just undoubtedly say that, oh, perhaps this is the best organization in the world at this point of time. But it's not going to happen because we have global partnership rules and also many more of all these small nuances that makes it in such a way. So that being said, though, going back into this, how could I actually forget? I guess I voted for Team Falcons last game, and I want to highlight again. Yesterday, top, another incredible showing. And as a matter of fact, that battle that he had in Miramar was outstanding. although they were really pit against the edge of the zone, you saw Top just barely even gets a glimpse over onto the far corner, and he immediately goes in for a takedown. Do you expect some of these names like Falcon to still show up? I would also expect a lot more of all these Indonesian teams to continuously try, but you know, Thailand, they're also known for Miramar prowesses, so I hope to also see them rise up to the occasion as we now take on the second map here in our beautiful night of games. So Flava, take us through.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be match number 6. Miramar, yeah, I got you. I was so ready to say match number 8 because you know it's day number 2 for matches. But yeah, this is gonna be our second map here of the day. It is still early in the competition. There's still 3 more maps to go, including this Miramar map for these 16 teams to gather up their points contra. So we've seen a bit of action there on map number 1. We're curious to see how this teams fare in this second map itself. It does seem that the flight path will be from the southeast towards the northwest segment. It's going to be passing through Lavendita. It's going to be passing through the graveyard, San Martin, and of course at the furthest end we have La Cabrera.
And yesterday we saw a big party moving into Los Lunas. I would expect this to be the same sort of party yet again, as teams are definitely looking to brawl out to gain some of all these elimination points. Meanwhile, I believe that we might actually get a glimpse of certain action around the fields of San Martin, but it is going to be providing a decent spread. What we saw inside Picado yesterday was a battle between HARAME Bros as well as STALWART Esports. That will continue on and throw in a little bit of a wrench out there because there was probably FAZE Clan and other spots who are also opting to do exactly the same. This is going to be a very Southern-centric circle to start things out from. So whoever's fighting inside of Los Angeles, they could fight for a whole lot longer. But take a look at that. We see BIGETRON and G moving very closely to some of these members of Falcons. Falcons now being wrapped around with a lot of teams. I wonder how they get out, but we will focus onto the members of the Savior, which I do believe are in the mix of the battle inside of the city of Los Leones.
Oh yeah, and of course, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be quite a battle. Now, as you can see here, before we actually shut down on the map feed itself, we only have a few teams who's already inside the circle. So if one or the other teams actually make their way into the southwest segment. Meanwhile, we do see a Team Secret having a short shootout here against ASI8 here on the outside perimeter, and you have to work with whatever weaponry that you have here at this moment. And we do see, unfortunately, it's going to be Roy Esports being the first team eliminated here. It's such a big map. Meanwhile, Team Series SOAS does not only spot on team members from ASI8, but also from the Xavier as well, from Livisto.
Not too sure what went on between these members of Roy Esports, but your big battles taking place between 3 teams. Lambo, just by the edge, tries to go in for that Jingle Peak, not able to finish the job. He's going to be taken down. Team Secret really popping off in this early standard match with those 2 partners being gained. The Savior goes ahead to try to rally on against the champions of the last round. He's got this nade being cooked up, but he is definitely holding back because he heard those footsteps moving in. He's going to be priming one right down the stairways, trying to hold out. There's still plenty of floors for him to maneuver around. So what could he do? He's scattered up against the rest of his teammates, and Chua holds him down. He finds 2, and he could actually turn the tide around up against the rest of the line, trailing them one after another. That is triple in the hands of Chua.
Oh, that was insane. Everybody lined up just nice here for Chua Kung to actually shoot them down one by one. And that's going to be a big win here for the Xavier as they are able to knock out most of the team members here from Alliance. The Malaysia represented this despite getting winner chicken dinner on the first map. Things are not looking too well here on map number 2, featuring MIRAMAR, which should be the better map for them. Meanwhile, a lot more action happening all around the map. Unfortunately, it is going to be Team Xavier here at 5 elimination points in the back here at this point. Stalwart Esports up against FaZe Clan here with the perimeters. We do see Paragon. They knock on his knees as they're getting shootouts while it has like a theme, or should we say Jamie OP. by Alliance, only surviving team member from Malaysia at this current moment. STALWART Esports as well. Giraffe getting a little bit of cover. Oh, this is going to be quite intense within the stadium. We see shootouts happening up for Outdoor Gui. Hitting on, latching on. Esparzo is going to be going down as well. Clearing out Meow Meow 6. There's 2 men down. Few more to go.
Ooh, it's been some tense situation inside of all these urban terrains. But now, the close seems a little bit more clear for Harame Bros to also join into that party inside the stadium. Alliance left with Jimmy OP. And he was unable to have him cut over onto the corner of the street to join his teammates early on. Rather unfortunate, but that's the form of ordeal that these players have been dealing with. Whereas, take a look at the current situation here. He's still going to go out for the last stand. He does take down the final member of DX.
Oh,
turns it around, but of course, damage been done on both sides.
Oh, despite him being alone here, Jimmy OP from Alliance, he managed to clear out Team STALWART Esports, the final member over there, and their journey continues as Alliance is still not bowing out with only 1 member remaining. Meanwhile, we did talk a little bit about this. Harame Bro still here in the competition. EMXS doing a little bit of recovery. Meanwhile, production also showing the map feed to see where our teams are currently on the map. Team BIGETRON from upstate will have to make quite a long journey over here. We do see Team Vampire Esports and Alter Eagles. Tone with 1 more member is right next to Alter Ego at this current moment.
Seems to be a little bit of a standstill before they can actually get into range. But look at Jimmy. Still doing damage all alone. This guy's ridiculous.
This guy.
He's still going for it. There's a nade right in his hands. He's going for revives. And this nade looks perfect. Just does a little bit of chip damage, but the revive will still go true. This might just be a really good push right into the corner of the map. And there, he's checking on the wrong corner. Unfortunately, that allows the revive, but he will be shredded to bits. Oh, if it only checked that tiny little shack, he might have actually gotten the glimpse. But Team Secret, they had the last laugh here inside Los Leones. Between 4 squads that have battled it through, we had, I believe there was ASI 8 in the mix. There was Team Secret, who have just gotten this win. DX, I honestly lost count. These 4 teams, exceptional work rate, but somebody has got to give way to these boys out there. But
oh yeah,
Jimmy definitely have shown up strong.
Oh yeah, I thought he was playing solo in a teams game. Yeah, he looked like he looked like he was used to it though. But yeah, unfortunately he fell in the hands of Team Secret because game has to continue. Meanwhile, we haven't seen much action here from Miracle Vibe so far, together with Harame Bro from the Philippines. At this current moment, curious to see how they can perform to you. It does seem that DOK does manage to spot out someone over the hills, but he does not know this. It's actually one of the team members from BIGETRON as Kumumil. Meanwhile, for Miracle Vibes, he doesn't see this, but over the canyon is actually yet another BIGETRON team over here. So we're not sure whether it's the same that Harame Bro is actually spotting out or it's a different one. Of course, we do have Vampire Evil was trying to ride the car over him, was not able to connect, but I guess a little bit of shootout is gonna make the work done here by Tony K and Newsy combo from Vampire Esports.
Meanwhile, here comes another ship that does bring all these teams into the city of Jumasera. We already have 2 teams on board. For Miracle Vibes takes on the rest of BIGETRON and G. The current top seed is for MV is hoping to at least reclaim a form of their throne.
Oh, look at
likely, this situation right now, they're still batting over the course of the hillside. The rest of RQ tries to actually hold out over the spine. That isn't exactly the best form of situation for Snape, but it is a 1-for-1 trade out that he managed to at least get. Here comes the flank coming in from the side of Becco. Nails down 1 more member from the side of Vampire Esports as he is going to be priming a grenade for that exchange. Where is the rest of these RQ members? Already depleted. And here comes Harame Bros, also arriving to the scene, having the top player of the Philippines, going out for more, but he gets quickly taken down by Rosemary's arrival.
Oh yeah, Federales is currently on the ground here together with Tony K. Team Vampire Esports. Review trying to make things happen up here. A little bit late here on the support. Just a while ago, as you mentioned, that Contra. But Zubin tried to make things happen over here. Tried to make it his game. Oh, the course can run him over. Jappy from Harame, bro. That makes the 5th elimination points for them. Getting it in fashionable order. As all. Meanwhile, we'll also be looking at BIGETRON Knights. In previous map, we saw them fall in the hands of BIGETRON and G. This time, they're hoping for a much better run here compared to the last. And we'll see how it goes. It does seem that Adjasif will be able to actually see out where Nuzi is in. Where is the support from other team members from Team Vampire Esports? Does seem that Nuzi will get shut out here in the hands of Haji Yasef. Meanwhile, Boy Chill from LT Eagle tunes out Federales. Harame, bro, together Jappy, yet another, and Vampire Esports will be eliminated over here in 10th place.
This has been a really, really difficult stance for all these teams to really go in for certain rotations. But you see how eager these teams are actually going for points. His alter ego has already garnered 5 points. Though we didn't really have gotten too much of a glimpse of how many battles they've been taking, but now they're definitely locking their eyes onto the main roster of BIGETRON at this moment. Not exactly the easiest of rotation for BIGETRON, as they're already being clipped by the zone, trying to make their way into the corners of Chumacera, and it seems like Lapar has got that buggy stuck over the corner of the tree. So somebody's got to lend a hand to going for a pickup as he's slowly being depleted by the blue zone. Alter Ego also paves a little bit of a space for him to actually get into a better passage. While we're taking a look at what's being offered here inside of the fields, Res for MV happy to be placed inside of the city, whereas whoever's already inbound, they're going to have a really good time, but I'm not too sure about maybe certain names out there who might be sandwiched in between a couple of all these names out there. So not exactly the easiest of tasks for some of these guys.
Oh yeah, they have to squeeze in with whatever path they have towards the inside of the circle. Mainly want to shout out here too is to Real FAZE, because he's all alone out there from FAZE Clan. So he has to be a little bit more careful because he doesn't have any form of support. So he has to rainbow his way through some big teams here to make his way towards the circle area. Meanwhile, VOIN Donkey gets a little bit of action for themselves here in the game. Having a shootout here up against Team Secret. Trade-offs out here. It does seem that it's a 1-to-1 trade-off. Make that 2-for-1. Signing what was VOIN Donkey. 2 of the team members from Team Secret. At this current moment, we're out. The VOIN Donkey still alive within the building. Meanwhile, 4 Miracle Vibes. We still haven't seen much from them. Things have been quite passive as they're not able to attain a single elimination points yet. But they are currently in the top 7, meaning they've secured a minimum of 2 placement points by just surviving here in the competition. 24 more players remain. 7 teams here in the competition. 4 of them are Indonesian teams, 2 Mongolian teams, and I believe that. Oh yeah, FaZe Clan. Yeah, from Thailand, still alive as well.
Yeah, there's just plenty of all these opportunities out there. But when it comes down to Miramar and it's only stage 3 and you're only look at 7 teams remaining, you know that these guys are just going fast and furious, where there's just not much that can be salvaged if you were to be taken down early on in some of all these scuffles. But overall, happy to actually see all these fights happen from the get-go. Here comes Alter Ego Ares pushing into the compound. Big nades perfectly lobbed right in, catching one. And simply Consulate, I don't honestly know which names are which right now with them switching their main ID, but we're getting a big fight here between 2 of these Titans. Name exchanges are looking pretty good. Rosemary on the far flank as well. You should be able to spot Nan moving on the outskirts, but these high grounds isn't exactly the easiest to actually play out. Therefore, it is definitely going to be very daunting on what the task is at this current moment.
Yeah.
But they will have to make do with what the current circumstances are. With this current push, it seems like this is the only way out for the side of Outer Eagle areas. There's no other region for them to actually hold out. So try as they may, they need to bridge it.
Oh yeah, they don't have a choice at this current moment. Meanwhile, VOIN also holding on to the church area. They do have the high ground. Now here's the thing about cooking nades on the high ground, especially when it's very steep hill, that you need to cook it right. Your timing needs to be absolute. Usually in terms of shootouts, you do have the advantage by being on high ground, but when it comes to nade cooking, you have to get the timing right, because if it's a little bit too long, it falls out real fast. But inside, oh, the trade off here. Boychill manages to actually get here on Team Void Donkey. There goes a 2-1 trade-off. Make it 2 for 2. And that's going to be a 3 for 3. It's going to be 4. It's actually going to be 3 for Void Donkeys over here at this point. So now they're still holding on to this area. There's still yet another. I think everyone's all cramped up here within the premises. Meanwhile, Alva's not really in a good spot. He can't get out due to the flames here on the ground. So he has to wait it out before he can make an exit. BIGETRON team members also on the outside perimeters, throwing out nade after nade with hopes that he'll be able to connect or even just create a crossroad so that the other team members are not able to actually escape the area.
BIGETRON arriving in the right time, going for that third party finish. But the rest of VOIN Donkey, that was pretty clean coming in from them despite losing those 2 members. Now it is an awkward situation between all these Indonesian squads currently stuck inside of the church. And yesterday, yeah, we've seen what the endings over here. And it definitely looks very, very familiar of how Arceus has been able to at least take a win. But Arceus is nowhere to be found in this lobby anymore.
Oh no, they spun him out.
Oh, Mark's going to go for that spray down. He's going to be able to smoke up that vehicle. Oh, such a daunting task to even go in for that risky approach of diving away. But that is definitely a smart play coming from these members of VOIN Donkey, leaving only Alva all alone. I don't think they know that Alva's here is just going to get that free pick. Beautiful stuff coming from Alva. He's trying to secure that pointer out there while the rest of these members of BIGETRON is being kept busy. He's also throwing a nade towards that direction. It's absolutely crazy that he's not even going to settle for that one takedown, which he should have. But he's definitely hunting out for that one member remaining. Shots now being fired right back. That should be FALCONS here taking charge, and FALCONS looking to have an impressive game, still having 4 members alive. Nade's now being cooked, but there's no angles for him to work with. Hold on to cook that nade for far too long.
He was quite in a bad situation where there's a third-party shot coming on from the other side from FALCONS, and then you also have to deal with the BIGETRON team as well. The moment he went for the shootout within the church, he gave out his position. So basically, BIGETRON Knights kind of knew that there is yet another individual inside the vicinity. And yes, Contra, I have to agree with you on this. He should have at least just cleared out that one guy. So at least he get himself with 1 elimination kills. Yeah. Took the date a little bit too long over there and was not able to change back to his weaponry and gets picked off in hands of BIGETRON. Meanwhile, of course, the circle has emerged and we do have Sherlock for Miracle Vibes. Ooh, despite having an early shootout here in their hands, unfortunately, Team BIGETRON were the ones who actually managed to actually get the kill here upon the team member from Miracle Vibes, leaving Baron still alive. Meanwhile, East, the new additional member for Team Falcon, managed to get a pick up on his own on one of the members from Team BIGETRON.
Red Aliens. Well, that's what I know them best for. They've been changing their names a couple of times already. Well, of course, now known as Knights, they're still looking sharp as ever. And by having that one member that was being left alive by Alva, they really get to eventually go in for the trample up against the rest of FALCONS as they find themselves on the outskirts. Now down to only top, trying to pull all the way back to get themselves revived. But that is going to be just clean cut engagement coming in as the rest of FALCONS, they hold true. VOIN Donkey not having all too much, but this left them susceptible for all these open angles of grenades to fall right through. still limping on the ground. The rest of Falcons can still go in for a quick recovery, while the rest of BIGETRON sees this as a perfect 3 versus 3 opportunity against the very best of Mongolia. A very technical fight as they do manage to secure action, still trying to get a whole lot more done. 10 points in for BIGETRON Knights, while IC is on fire, slowly melting down, but not fully melted just yet. Big Nate's now being exchanged. Perfect lap over onto the corners of Gen Foss as he is trying to do his level best to just hold through. He's got the S12K, trying to look for those angles. Lapar is already being taken out. He's looking a little bit of a room, and just look at how technical a fight this has been for the top 2 teams.
Oh yeah, he's just navigating through the outside perimeters here on the second floor. Still got back through, managed to rejuvenate himself with the mat bag. Here we do have Team Falcons just turtling themselves up on the inside, waiting. And of course, they do have quite a good position over here, but at the same time, while you're on the inside perimeters, oh, East getting picked up here, down on his knees. But it does seem that Satarlas will be down, but it's not going down without a fight, as Satarlas will be carrying on East. IC down at the same time, and down goes Murder. Team Falcon will be losing out their porthole and limited here in the hands of BIGETRON Knights.
Well, actually, Knights also went down in the process. They managed to actually take that win. It's NG that arrived at the scene. So you mess with one BIGETRON member, you will have to deal with the other BIGETRON as well. So that is the current circumstances as NG. They take this win regardless because they do have the numbers advantage, but also keep in mind that FaZe Clan still has a member left. So perhaps Real FaZe can still put in a little bit of a dent up against some of all these units of BIGETRON and G.
Oh yeah, and then of course, BIGETRON also has the upper hand at the current moment in terms of numbers. They do have 4 on their end compared to the lower team members from the other teams. I believe FaZe has 2, and we do have another one. Oh, sorry, it's FaZe with 1 and 4.
Both sides with 1.
Yeah, with 1, yeah. I can't quite see the one on the left there, but yeah. So it does seem that this could be a big advantage for them, but they are on the outside. FaZe Clan does have a little bit shelter over here. Real FaZe all alone by himself. So the advantage of having a much better cover compared to the rocks and the terrain here on the MIRAMAR map.
Definitely will be a little bit more difficult for all these solo targets to actually get much done right now. As they have noticed that there is only 1 player inside the compound, they will send 2 members right through just to give them a little bit of a tussle. But Real FaZe has been one of the sharpest units coming in from the Thai region. And here we go, full commitment coming from the rest of BTR. Still having 1 more holding out on the outskirts with Deku, trying to actually hit a little bit of impact, but FaZe now stuck by the corner of balcony. There's going to be a grenade that will seal the deal. Perfect stuff coming in with BTR and G. Despite this not being their high-flying start heading into this MIRAMAR round, but a chicken dinner is very likely to be the case to close out the match up against Baron, the only member remaining firm for Miracle Vibes.
He could clutch this. He could clutch this. It's a 1v4 situation. Things are not looking good on his side. At the moment, he's not required to make any form of movements. Both sides do have building cover at the current moment. But with having more members, meaning that you can do a lot more. So you can go for baits, you can go for a full-on showdown 4v1 situation immediately as an individual, as one player. You're not able to actually cover all angles at the same time. So right now, they're on the hunt. Look at this. Everyone is sniffing out. Where is this last guy? Where is it? You can actually see that the team members from BIGETRON and G are just scouting out the high grounds, the low grounds. They're like hound dogs. It's just unfortunate that Pubg Mobile doesn't have the sniffing action where you can sniff out where the last member is. So they have to wait things out, or if they're just by sheer luck, they're able to actually get into the right building. Oh, it seems that there is a shot, and they should be able to tell from which direction, so they kind of can guess which building it's in, and they are definitely looking into that particular direction. Jump come from Hansel, losing a little bit of HP. That's not going to hurt much. Leon is leading charge here, entering the building. Goes out the nade, but Baron is actually on the ground floor. Charging in. Baron just swing far. He gets one. That's going to be one down, 3 more to go. Baron holding on to his far. The spray is there, but it's not going to be enough. Baron goes down, and winner chicken dinner to BIGETRON and G here in game number 2.
Beautiful display of consistency coming from BIGETRON and G, as they will be able to seal yet another chicken dinner here in day 2. But my, you saw all these flying actions from the early game where we only get just a couple of teams left by stage 5. And, you know, that's how quickly this show has been running so far. And super impressive on what these players have been able to achieve within the span of the run. Meanwhile, of course, we take a look at these numbers. Although it's not as crazy as certain teams are, like Outer Ego areas with those massive haul of points, it is still a really significant game for BIGETRON NG to be able to back this win, to maintain their current position at the top of the podium.
Yeah, and of course you need great discipline to actually achieve this. Of course, it does not reflect on the amount of elimination points, as you mentioned as well. But being here attained this win-win chicken dinner also reflects how they approach certain things in the map for this particular match number 6, which is well executed. And I think that BIGETRON as an organization should be very happy. Mr. Edwin Chia, Starless, yeah, should be very happy with the performance of both teams here. BIGETRON NG together with BIGETRON Knights here at the competition. And look at the performance, of course. Shout out here to Haji Asif, our MVP from BIGETRON on this second map of the day for Miramar. And of course, Contra, gonna ask you this: what are your thoughts so far on the team's performance here in this second map of the day?
Well, I really do like the current pace that they are really playing on, where teams are just brimming with confidence moving into majority of all these matches that we're seeing, and therefore we would expect to also see plenty of all these effort out there to really put on another crazy record moving into our upcoming rounds. But so far, Lapar definitely showing what he is got, where he has been able to really shine very bright in this matchup. Now, we take a close look. Sakara has also been lending a great help towards Haji Asif, aka Lapar. Meanwhile, STALWART Esports, we saw what he could basically do in some of all these skirmishes, and DX, they really took charge inside of Los Leones, where Chua was the main fragger out there. And I'm just really surprised that, you know, we don't actually get to see Jimmy around those form of numbers as well, because he was doing it all alone. Maybe his damage was just not about enough.
Jimmy had his moment. We have to agree that Jimmy did has his moment. But before we talk a little bit more about that, here we go, Team BIGETRON. Yes, of course, despite BIGETRON and G getting winner chicken dinner, but BIGETRON Knights here in first place in this match as they attained more elimination points. They were ranked 3rd, so they got more points over here. Yeah, so here we go with 14 points. Oh, my apologies, they got 3 rank points. Yeah, so 11 elimination points, and they're currently in first place. Second, followed by BIGETRON and G, where they managed to rake in 10 rank points by being first and get 3 elimination points at 13 points. And Team Falcons here in 3rd with 10 points.
Yeah, great maintenance overall. BIGETRON Knights best them by only a little bit of a points with all these big form of eliminations that they've gotten so far. But NG, with that chicken dinner, they're still up ahead by just about a 9-point margin. It isn't too difficult for BIGETRON Knights to eventually catch up to. But this has been big performances coming out of Team Secret inside Los Leones. HARAME Bros also moves up a notch to tie things up with Team Secret over on to 6 and 7 respectively. And For Miracle Vibes surges up, tying the knots with 40 points apiece. But even onto the second page, there's definitely opportunities for Team Falcons to also make their advancements hitting the final 2 rounds. ASIA haven't been looking so hot, but at least they're definitely in the chase and up in the running where we still have 2 more maps to go, ladies and gentlemen. So that being said, we shall definitely take a close look at what else that's in store for us later on, while it has still been, just like how yesterday was, an Indonesian performance for those chicken dinners. So that has been spectacular.
I think it's something. I think it has something to do with their food. Whatever that the teams, whatever Starlight is feeding them, ayam penyet or whatever it may be, it's working well here for Team BIGETRON. But whatever it is, we're still seeing the Indonesia dominance happening here. It's quite unfortunate and quite sad that ASI 8, they dropped quite a lot. They start off the day with number 5 and currently here in number 9 this current moment. I do believe that there's still room for them to improve, but of course, ladies and gentlemen, we still have more insights to share with you later on after this commercial break. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Welcome back once again to the Ruthless PUBG Mobile Night of Champions. Tonight we've been having some crazy scrims, and my, what a performance coming from both BIGETRON team once again, as they are definitely racing to show which side of the BIGETRON army is better. Is it NG? Is it Knights? You guys tell me. But overall, we're also looking at a lot of all these teams really making their moves to try to overtake these current top 2 teams out there. But yet, once again, it's been a lot of chicken dinners being hauled by the Indonesians, though the Lions did manage to get that game won. And quickly as we go, we'll be moving into the predictions. So, as always, Flava, you go first.
Oh, man. Okay, now the thing is, I think we've seen so much dominance happening over here in the competition. I really do want to banking on VOIN Donkey in this one. I think that they've shown that they're quite consistent. We haven't seen things go too crazy with them, but I think VOIN Donkey should be the team they'll be doing well for this map number 3 of the day, map 7.
Yeah, I would expect them to really put on a decent showing overall. Meanwhile, of course, when we move into all these matches, I'm pretty certain that eventually we'll see some resurgence coming in from names like STALWART Esports and also certain other names coming into the equation. So I wasn't exactly too worried, because tomorrow is where the real deal begins for majority of all these teams to really put on their best possible performance. So just testing the waters to see what the firepower is looking like at the moment. And, you know, I forgot to even put in my prediction right now. You know, Production's already scored 1. Okay, I'll put in BIGETRON Knights, you know, just to match up, because they picked NG earlier. I'm going for BIGETRON Knights.
Interesting enough, right? And for those who are currently tuning in, right, do drop your predictions. Let us know on which team you're rooting for here at the Night of Champions. And I really like the name. Of course, we've changed the name so far, you know, from Ruthless. We've jumped so much here for Night of Champions. It is definitely the right name for this, because we're featuring some of the best teams. I understand that the teams here hail mainly from Asia, from South Asia, from Southeast Asia and others, but this has got to be one of the best PUBG Mobile teams that the world has to offer. And for those who do not know, 15 out of 16 teams here competing are actually teams who have already made it to PMGC, whereas one of the teams, unfortunately, if you guys don't know this, right, we don't have any Nepali teams competing, because there is an ongoing tournament going on right now. If I'm not mistaken, right now it is the PUBG Mobile Campus Clutch Nepal. All right, so it's a very big team. So you don't see DRS, you don't see Hura Esports, and you don't see any of the other top Nepali teams being featured over here. We won't be seeing them because they are currently occupied. Actually, they are occupied only until today, Contra. But the thing is, since they couldn't make it yesterday and today, they couldn't join us for the next remaining 3 days, which is the main event. But it's okay. So they get their rest. It could be a big advantage for them, because they can actually look at the games happening yesterday, today, and the next 3 days, and they're like, I kind of know what these teams have to offer. They can prepare myself better.
Yeah, but of course, when you're not really involved, the dynamics actually shifts, because like I've always believed that when it comes down to every situation, it's unique to its own circumstance. Because say with a presence of a certain team, they take a certain space in that region, whether if other teams respect that territory or not, it will alter on how certain teams play out. So I guess you're absolutely right that these teams, they could actually use these to study where they could maybe prepare if they are already qualified for maybe that PMGC slot or so. But I don't think that we're getting all the cards set on the table just yet. That is what I do believe is going to change for tomorrow, as our teams, they're absolutely vying for a whole lot more as we begin our third match of the scrims. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's have a blast here in the Night of Champions, as this will be match 7 out of 8. And if we want to rock it that way, I know earlier you were like hoping to say that, and yep, we are here. This time it's gonna be the other way around, starting off in STALWART, and this flight path is skewered to be leaning towards the south side. A lot of the western terrains will be off limits right now.
Oh wow, so it's leading a lot towards the east side of the ERANGEL map. I'm just so glad that actually we're back again to ERANGEL over here, but we're gonna see which teams are willing to go to the distance, to go to the further end parts. Like look at the flight path. It's kind of tough if anybody is going to try hard to go towards Zarki or Georgiopol area, or even Primor's area, which is on the far bottom left side. Or even we could potentially see a team that decides to actually drop on Novo or even Sosnontagam military base, as it is within the flight path as well. But just to be safe and sorry, I'm guessing that, you know, Novo will be still okay. But if you want to go crazy, sure, why not go to military base? But it does seem that there are some teams who are dropping on the island, which is going to be quite interesting. And I do hope for this third map of the day here, Contra, we're going to be seeing a lot of action, just as what we witnessed on Miramar map just now, because it's not the usual gameplay. You would see most teams would take a much more passive approach at the early stages because you don't want to risk it. But we do see early actions happening here between Vampire Esports and RRQ Ryu. Or Ryu, I just want to say Ryu. Here, but does seem that RQ has the upper hand. Or no, actually they are losing. No, they have the upper hand. Yeah.
They seem like they do have a little bit of that upper hand at this very moment. Well, it has definitely been a little bit of a tough situation as they dropped slightly short of getting into the warehouse, so you expect certain members to not really have the perfect weaponries. Fnatic, though, he's got that micro Uzi needing to go in for a reload, as he will boost that with a perfect flip. Back up the rods coming from Asa. They will annihilate Vampire Esports, the recent champion of the PMSL, falling short. That's not something that I did expect moving into this matchup, as we are seeing full-blown fist fights. I say fist fights too, and the Scorpion is being brought right in, coming from Paragin, shredding out these parties as he's really working with this form of a pistol that he has in his hands. They're just basically on scraps. Ruthless, though, he has that QBZ, is cutting across these corners, trying to lend a hand to his teammates. Paragin has so little to work with, and hopefully there's something that he can just make do with at this very moment. But
it does seem that,
yeah, it's just tough.
But it's good though. It's good though. We're seeing this early engagement between the Xavier up against Harame, bro. But it's not over yet. In between them, they're still trying to spot out. Ooh, does get the high ground here for Jappy. Jumps onto the other building's roof and trying to ensure that the opponents are not able to tell where he is positioned at. So he's leaning more towards this side. Over here, he did had a short shootout against Lamborghini just a while ago, but Lamborghini gets a really good cover. He does not hear any form of footstep, which indicates any of the players are moving towards forward or fast enough to actually get to his position at this moment. So Jappy does have quite a really nice view over the area, but still no telltales coming up from the Xavier when they're at here at the scoreboard. You can just hear footsteps within the building. You can gauge which building they're at, but they're not showing here in any of the windows. Structure on the outside, gotta be careful. He's on the side perimeter. If it does get spotted out, Jappy doesn't really need to just immediately shoot. As long as you get information, you can relay this to teammates and they can actually navigate accordingly. Is already great enough over here, Contra.
True enough, and right now, STALWART Esports is holding around the a little bit of the advantage. But I say that, only one of the members gets clipped. Very unfortunate Rotter moving into this from a block. Whereas Sancho tries to approach over the corner of the wall, will find themselves clipped up, as this battle for Lipaka seemingly to be never ending. So still, he read him like a bow.
Oh, that was great read. And of course, none other than Federales here for Harame, bro. Mr. Jolo Sarmiento de Leon, our finals MVP and week 3 Terminator at the recent PMCL C-Fall. Was showing. Of course, he had an early bow out in the previous map itself, but he's definitely here to bear his teeth upon the opponent's old team secret here. Catching up on the side here for Team Falcons was not even checking. It's 9. And up in the SIX. Shoots on from side. Oh! Huge 360 spin over there. But it does seem that Team Falcons will come out on top in that engagement up against Team Secret.
That was a little bit awkward when both of them ran out of bullets, but hey, at the very least, HARAME Bros, they get the upper hand right now. They do spot Chua also moving around these corners inside of Pachiki. Now settling the scores. Last game, the bros who played out back in ERANGEL match 1 decided not to contest, but this time it'll be the rest of DX to overwhelm them. Arjun now moves across. They're on the other side of the compound, although it looks to be very, very close. It doesn't seem like they'll be getting into the bird's eye view just yet of these members. But for what's worth, this is going to be that golden opportunity. He does get that knock. Jappy now quickly runs around these corners, going for a quick jump shot. Not really having that same sort of preemptive strike as compared to Boy Seal, but here we go. Close bar combat coming with the DPS. It will be calm and collected for Lamborghini to just show dominance inside of Pachinki.
That bobbing, yeah, it didn't work. Boy Seal kind of read it. Yep, I got you. One shot, one kill. But he tried though. I get the idea behind it. But you're giving away your position. I really thought he was just gonna hide behind the cover, but I guess, yeah, he wants to bring the action to them. Like, why not? Because he was the only last man standing anyways. Meanwhile, we're also looking at Alter Ego Aries, who is trying to escape the wrath of the blue circle here at the current moment and get a little bit of cover for themselves, but of course doesn't hurt so much as we're currently at stage number 1. A little bit of damage, a little bit of mats. Should be able to actually do the grip. Boy Chill here, we saw a little bit of action from him, but it seems that he's not done yet. Goes for a little shootout over here. Boy Chill is down on his knees. Well, it does seem there's going to be a return here and has a Rosemary. Managed to get 2.
Oh, strikes another 8 points, this time taking down BIGETRON NG. The victors of that past round is already off the lobby. Oh boy. It's been a very chaotic situation over on the outskirts where we've seen plenty of those fights taking place, and we finally get our answers. This zone, though, closing all the way onto the areas of Quarry. We'll see the advantage given over to ASIA. This could very well be their game. And also keep in mind that BIGETRON Knight, they're also part of the equation heading into this battle. So there's plenty to play for MV. Now being spotted out by Toji, going for that spray down. It is going to be a tough landing. But he does actually hit the mark once again, even despite having to cover some tree. Refus now will please take refuge, but over on the back end, it's going to be a flank, dropping in towards Flax. And it is going to be an easy task for him to actually wiggle his room out of that.
Oh yeah, that was Toji, aka Adik Look, and Kasim 99, which is currently on clean play side. Tries to make an exit over here, while two teams, they try to become the third party over here between the battle in between Team 4MV here on the high ground up against another team. It does seem that they're able to actually get their hands on a much better cover over here for Toji or Adik Look. They've already gotten their hands on their first winner chicken dinner, which so happens to be on the first map that they here at ERANGEL as well. Will they be able to actually replicate it on the same map? As this second time we're playing it out for today. It's going to be a clean vision of Kasim, aka Jimmy OP here, and has a 4 miracle vibes, but was not able to secure the kill here upon him. And he's able to actually get a little bit of cover and get into a little bit of recovery for himself here, Contra.
Yeah, what a shot coming from downtown Baron. That was ridiculous. Yo, how exactly did he do it? We got to see that one again. That was absolutely a banger.
Calm down, Baron. Calm down.
Dude, that felt like an illegal shot. No, that's how it really feels like. But hey, this is where we're really starting to see the party really shaping up. Whereas ASI, they're directly in the center. They don't really have to do all too much, as the rest of these teams are still on the outskirts. Yeah, quickly as we go by, look at that, Flava. Like, this is not your typical average lobby. Stage 2, 6 teams are already out of the game. It is aggressive. Pure on aggression displayed by all these gentlemen on board.
Yeah. This is why they call this the Night of Champions. This has got to be the most stacked lobby here in the world being played out on this so-called scrim day number 2. But we're going to be seeing a little bit of action here from ASI 8 as they have a shot shootouts against the team members. Team Falcons, 5 elimination points in the back here. We're also looking at Red Devil from ASI 8. We haven't seen much from ASI 8. As mentioned before, it's quite unfortunate because they started off the day in 5th place and they've dropped to 9th place here after the conclusion of 2 maps, which was ERANGEL at first and MIRAMAR. So we do hope they're able to actually make something happen over here, and does seem that that is happening as they're having shootout against one of team members from Roy Esports. One of them are down on his knees here at this moment. Action from Team Falcons as well, getting a little bit of cover. This is going to be UZM, the team captain from Team ASI 8.
I see now going for that close quarter combat. Big Nate's now being dropped right in versus Potato, and he does get the shot on point. Taking out IC, is it has been a rather difficult stance to play out in South Korea. Has always been a challenge for all the teams on board. The Falcons, they're in a really awkward angle. Action has got his body being exposed as well. Rosemary claims a lot more lives out there on the field, taking down Lamborghini of the Savior. Well, there is also involvement coming from the side of Gen Foss to spot that member from FaZe Clan.
Oh no.
High ground versus low ground. Nachi going for recovery first, but the nade now being cooked up. And
it's a watchtower. It's a watchtower. You have to get out. So the nade being cooked. Yeah, he leaked out real fast.
But of course, ASI 8, they've been here ever ready for the longest time. And DX starting to really show their fangs here, hitting late in the scene. Paragin once more claims that number alongside with Chuan, who's already gotten 3 eliminations right now. Let's see what Rosemary has as he is full of the grenade. Chuan! That is amazing on how he's been able to just predict so perfectly and just quickly as it goes. Rosemary's already out, but it's another big round for the side of Alter Ego. FaZe Clan is also next to follow suit. Flava, we're just losing teams left, right, and center.
Oh yeah, that's true. I think that came quite a surprise for Rosemary as well. Getting Nate just like that, and he's gone. Yeah, but Alter Ego, I think after bowing out from there, I think they're still doing quite okay because they did manage to accumulate the most amount of elimination points here at this moment at 9 kills. And the game continues here for ASI 8, who already bags in 2 kill points. Currently try to bag in for more as they are in the top 8. So all the teams here have secured a minimum of 1 point just by surviving to this point. VOIN Donkey might just show his face over there, but Arrow from Full America Vibe is on the ready. If anybody shoves up their heads, it's gonna get shoot off. Nice nade being thrown over here. It does connect, but not enough to take down this member from VOIN Donkey. DOK from Full America Vibes trying to go in for Hail Mary over here. That one was not able to connect. It does explode on mid-air. Goes for yet another. This one's going to be yet another miss from him. Does seem that he does still have one more nade to throw, but I guess he's going to keep it for another day here. And tries to rotate around this.
Ooh.
It's
he kind of fumbled.
Yeah, kind of fumbled.
But it's okay. He's going to be at least not receiving any form of damage, but he's just trying to really go in for a big wraparound. For MV, they're in the best possible location right now. Teams will really have to push towards them because they're in the direct center. Now, it gets a little bit more awkward if your team's over on the north side. So what does BIGETRON do? They have to really move off from this radar that ASI has been holding out from Another impressive display coming from the side of Nachi. This could very well be a strong cleanup coming from the rest of ASIA. Despite them only having 3 men, they're really working as if they have never lost a single member at all. And this game, it's been the best chance possible for BIGETRON Knights to overtake their brothers. Still going for the revive as he's going to be able to reach just about a nick of time. Nachi now locking them into place. Red Devil also approaching. And over the back, there is somebody out there. She's going for a white flag. And that is the sneaky captain, UZM, on duty to take out the entirety of BIGETRON. So their hopes of getting another chicken dinner has been denied. So BIGETRON Knights will have to wait for another final round. Here comes another pickoff coming from side of VOIN. Donkey Parajin now notices, but the jump shot is perfect. He takes on both. Parajin.
Like ASI is finally all warmed up here, and as they still have 3 of the team members. But Baron, this time we saw an incredible shot from him just early on, but now he's in flames. So let's be very, very careful. He does know that's a team member. Yet another team inside the building. It so happens to be from VOIN Donkey on high ground. There are team members from American Vibe as well. They could be the third party who's trying to shoot out. Oh, that is going to connect, and Ruthless is going to be cleared out. Potato from VOIN Donkey.
Wow, what a prep coming in. He's just really buying time as well as space for his members to be able to just come in with the support to just clear out that final member of VOIN Donkey. Now, there's no more Indonesian teams left on the final tree as we got the battle between Falcons as well as ASIA. Quick shot to for action. He's looking for his target. Finds Sue, and he always gets it. Despite being the final member remaining, Falcons now finally getting a lifeline of a performance, moving into a top 3. Red Devil, the only member left for side of ASIA. But he's so far off, just hugging by the rim of the circle. Sees action running across, just missed the mark to actually clip onto him, else that will definitely secure him the top 2 position. Now, moving closely with the buggy, he's got the nade all cooked up. And Red Devil, he's smart enough not to just park directly onto that corner. He's got nades of his own at the very same time. But shots for much sharper, they match the spot out action. A respectable third place finish for Falcons. And here comes the entire cavalry of 4 American Vibes to seal the deal.
This is insane. Look at the barrage of nades being thrown over here. They do spot out Red Devil for ASIA. They try to shoot him out. All of these team members are pushing forward. Managed to get it, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. ASIA gets eliminated here in second, and it is going to be winner chicken dinner for none other than Team 4 Merkle Vibes from Mongolia.
We finally get to see them playing to their finest potential, and we're just happy to really see 4MV bounce back with such a domineering round. It's a total of 8 eliminations, and you can see that they've been working perfectly on hot engines where each one has contributed 2 points apiece. Damage numbers definitely has to be better. You saw that insane shot against RRQ. That just goes to show how nasty of a player that Baron has been throughout all this circuit, and we expect them to be having great performances heading into the finals. So they're just about warmed up already through the scrims. So tomorrow, definitely they are playing for a whole lot more.
I have to agree with you 100% over there. That Baron play over there was definitely be making it to the highlights here of the competition. And of course, shout out to, I think shout out for 4 Miracle Vibes. I think they did exceptionally well. They should be very happy with their performance here in the game. It was quite unfortunate ASI 8 because they're left out with 1 team member. Red Devil, of course, he grabs himself with the MVP here with 4 elimination points, 831 damage, and 50% of team contribution. He did a lot of heavy lifting here for the team for this map. So close, but yet so far, but still second place. Kudos to ASIA. Yeah, I think I'm very happy with them on this. And I do hope to see more from them. But of course, the highlight here is still on 4 Miracle Vibes securing their winner chicken dinner. It's about time, Contra. They are your back-to-back PMSL Central South Asia champions. So yeah, it's about time they grab themselves with a winner chicken dinner here for themselves here, since it is the Night of Champions.
True enough, and with so many champions on board, it has been definitely a difficult task, but we saw a very respectable run come from the side of ASIA, really taking full control of that quarter region, making it difficult for even BIGETRON Knights to even cut across these corners. And you take a look at the damage numbers, Red Devil has dished the most, which is why he was the MVP, despite Chua having to secure 1 extra elimination point. But D-Saber, you know, they have had an incredible run from yesterday as well as today. We expect them to also move up the charts. Same goes to some of the members of Alter Ego. Though you can evidently see Alter Ego Aries, they're not playing for chicken dinners. They're playing here just to go in for battles after battles after battles. And that's why Alter Ego Aries, they walk away with 9 points. 18 for our winners here for Miracle Vibes. And the ones that come close is ASIA alongside with Team Falcons. Meanwhile, you know, all the other squads have definitely put up quite the showing out there. RQ with 9 points together with AE, as I did mention. Whereas Vampire Esports, Alliance, as well as BIGETRON NG, they were part of that early hit list. We didn't really get to have all too much going on between that battle inside of Pochinki, where Harame Bros have absolutely lost out to the champions of Vietnam overall. So that's it. BIGETRON NG, despite bowing out early, they're still holding on to that #1 position, but that is slowly getting trailed by their brothers from BIGETRON Knights.
Oh yeah, and of course you have to love looking at the overall rankings over here, as the top 3 is no longer being held by the Indonesian teams, although we see the top 2 being held by BIGETRON NG and BIGETRON Knights. In 3rd place, going up 2 places from 5th place, is none other than 4 Miracle Vibes from Mongolia. VOIN Donkey in 4th, SI8 managed to grab back their position in 5th place, which they start off their day 1 with. From 9 to 5, yeah, that's gonna be quite a big change over here. Of course, we do see Team Alliance from Malaysia dropping off 5 placement after placing last in that ERANGEL match, so they have to buckle up. Team Secret had quite a drop as well, together with Harame Bro, as they were previously in 5th and 6th place, and currently, my apologies, 6th and 7th place, and currently in 10th and 11th.
Yeah, that leaves only 1 round remaining to see who will be the Scrim champions of the NOC. So that's it. You know, 1 good chicken dinner from anybody within the top 8, or arguably even in the top 9 with some really big numbers, can actually overtake BIGETRON NG. But obviously, they're not going to make it an easy task. So we shall see, as we will go for a quick break. And when we do come back, ladies and gents, we'll bring you to the very final game of the night. Ladies and gents, we are in for our final game of the evening as you're currently watching the PUBG Mobile Ruthless Night of Champions. Flava, it's been some phenomenal banger of a run for all these teams involved as we have all these big champions from all across Asia contending, and tomorrow is where the real final begins. But hey, we still got to settle the scores because we've got this nasty fight between the two BIGETRON brothers duking it out for that #1 spot. But I believe anybody with this final chicken dinner could still overtake that #1 spot.
I agree in this. So of course, for some of the teams who are on the second base, they have to make an extra effort, not only attaining winner chicken dinner, but a lot of elimination points to make their way to beat what BIGETRON and G as well BIGETRON Night has made throughout their course this 2-day course itself. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, in a few short moments, we're going to be jumping into match number 8, our final match of the day and the final match of the scrim here, and it's going to be none other at Miramar. It's going to be the final map here for this team. Yes, we only have 4 maps here during the sprint segment. Do not worry, do not fret, as at the real deal, which is happening tomorrow onwards for the next 3 days, it's going to be the real deal, and we're going to be back again with our normal scheduling with 6 maps per day, and that's definitely going to be very, very exciting over here. Of course, I've had this opportunity to actually predict 3 times in a row. First, Contra, got to hear your thoughts on this. You've witnessed so much happening in the first 3 matches of the day. Which team do you predict will become the winner and champion here for this map?
You know, like we've been talking so much about the Indonesian rivalry as well as the Brotherhood taking top 2 position. Now with the climb of 4 Miracle Vibes, I'm definitely vouching for them to come in with this last-minute overtake. I'm talking double chicken dinners here is very much possible for MB, so lock my answer right there.
Oh yeah, I'm a little bit motivated because production has already got 2 predictions already. Now I have to predict this one team, because if you guys don't know this, right, today marks the 2-year anniversary of ASI 8 for winning the 2 years ago. They actually won the PMPL Pakistan Fall 2022, but it was with a slightly different roster. They were still with UDM, IQ, and China, but this time they don't have Blade and Goose as they're currently in low Esports. So yeah, it's going to be ASI 8 here for this match. So I hope this is going to be their so-called lucky charm for them to actually win this final map of the day. They did manage to do quite well in the 3rd match, but I do believe they still have a lot more in store. The first 2 games were not good for them. Let's admit, everybody can see that they did not do well in the first 2 games, but game 3 shows that they're back, and there's still a lot more that they have to show here in the game.
Sure enough, and overall, they're definitely in a very good state, especially finishing on that map with a 2nd place finish. So we will expect to once again see perhaps these teams thrive, or perhaps, you know, either side of BIGETRON might walk away to be the champions of the scrim. So that is going to be our answers. I'm pretty sure that you guys who are currently watching have your own favorites as well. Share with us your thoughts on who will be crowned as the champions of the Night of Champions scrims. And then tomorrow onwards, that's where the real final begins. So make sure you guys hit that sub as well as the like button to stay up to date whenever the channel goes live. Same time, same place, I do believe, and maybe you might even start off earlier because we will be playing 6 maps in total. So, you know, 4 maps. These guys are feeling still rather confident. They're not worn out just yet. It wasn't exactly tired. Those game 5, game 6 shenanigans. So I'm pretty sure that this is still going to be pretty decent as we prepare ourselves for the very final round. We've seen a whole lot already, especially on the potential that all these teams have been able to give us. DX have been popping up, Alter Ego has been popping up. All these are battle-ready teams. These are teams that nobody wants to collide with, especially in the early game. Of course, STALWART Esports as well as HARAME Bros have claims to that they want to best them in some of all these skirmishes. But overall, the track record remains to be right now favoring these members of Alter Ego and also for DX on those hot drops. So perhaps we won't be seeing all too much of that. But when we do get into our final map, it is going to be played out here inside Miramar. Are we going to see that big fight again inside of Los Leones? Because we have what? Alliance, The Savior, ASI Aid. Did I miss out any names? Oh, yes, Team Secret.
Oh yeah.
out of these 4 names, I was hoping that yes, I do get something special coming from ASIA, but your predictions could either turn out to be a genius play where they get all these kills, or they walk away with not much. So
I could be jinxing them, man.
Good luck, Flavor. Let's see what happens then.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I could be jinxing them, you know. I think it would be best. No, if that so happens, I think it would be best if I don't predict them to be winners. Where if they were to win, it is because of a reverse prediction, you know, because I don't want to be a bad omen for the team and stuff. I do love them too hard, but yeah, I don't want to be that guy, you know. But anyways, all the best to all the teams. If you do see Alter Ego in the early segments of the match, be careful because they tend to be very proactive based on what me and Contra and everybody who's watching and tuning into the stream have been looking at for the past few matches. They must have had some crazy conversations yesterday after the conclusion of day number 1, and today they look like a different beast and ready to take on the world here. And I don't know, man, Contra, I think that they had an extra kick of Indomie or some crazy ayam penyet, you know, before they start off the day, and then they're just raring to go, you know, they're all heated up and ready to take on some fights. I don't think their main target is to get chicken dinners at all. I think they're just out there hunting down people down and just getting as much elimination points as possible for them.
Yeah, I think that's just part of the play overall, where end of the days, a lot of all these pro players, they don't really want to reveal all too much of their cards for the finals. Like, whatever being shown right now is not only just them having a whole lot of fun, but also to play a little bit more of that psychological warfare, like especially on some of all these area control. Like, you keep fighting in Los Leones to really show dominance that when it comes time for the finals, you might not even see all 4. Most likely we won't see 4 teams. 2
That's
teams,
true.
very likely, but even so, they will have a very different way of approaching certain fights where you might not even see that clash happen. Sometimes they just absolutely bail out because no team want to be taken out of the list so early on. And that being said, this is just really about showing that pure form of cohesiveness between your teammate on how you actually take those fights, which is definitely good practices what we're seeing. And I'm pretty sure that the spectators definitely get to learn a little bit of something watching some of all these crazy shots happening, Baron with amazing shots, and big impact coming from players like Top. We got so much to offer, so hopefully you guys have been paying close attention to all these big plays being brought to light by the finest of PUBG Mobile esports players around Asia.
Yeah, I like the point that you mentioned about the decision making and how the teams approach these things, because you see some high level gameplay being approached. Because if you really just want to talk about firepower, every team has that firepower. You do have the ability to actually have a shootout with other people. Yes, you do have that, but decision making on how you approach things, how you escape certain things as well, whether you want to engage or disengage, is very, very important. Especially when we look at the previous Miramar match on match number 6, where we see VOIN Donkey actually disengage from the church, leaving BIGETRON and Alter Ego having the problems to themselves while they make an early exit to the next area. We don't want to be part of this fight. Like, we know we're at a huge disadvantage as everybody's jumping in and just connect. Yeah, that's just one of many things. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be witnessing a lot more of that in the final match of the day. It is going to be match number 8, our 4th map of the day. We are back again here at Miramar, and it does seem that the fly path here, we're going to be passing through the Impala, the El Azahar. We had the Libidita and the truck stops here in the middle, but yeah, so this is quite okay compared to previous ERANGEL. Something I want to highlight previously in the ERANGEL match, but I think it's a little bit too late for that. It's okay. But I think this is the map being cut in half, slightly leaning towards the northern side. So cutting off from the east all the way up to the northwest.
Yeah, this is very decent, but it's definitely skewed a little bit more towards the northern region of play, which could still prove to be a little bit difficult of a task for certain teams to at least get a region to areas like Chumacera. So probably a little bit more of a shift of locations of dropping in the initial phase might just be spotted in moments time. Therefore, they gotta be always hot on their tails or on their toes at every step of the way. A little bit of a long stretch in Los Leones, so where exactly will be the next contest that will be happening? Are they going to be battling in South San Martin? It looks very likely from what I'm looking at the minimap. Plenty of teams dropping into the direct center, or we might even see big challenges inside of Picado, ladies and gentlemen. BTR moving over on top side of Power Grid, and I believe it is that final game shenanigan that we're getting, and instead it's the classic old fight that we're getting inside of Hacienda. Take a look at that. RRQ, Alliance, who else is involved?
Oh yeah, this is definitely what we're looking for over here. It's going to be an all-out battle. Everyone scrambling around to get their guns, get their weaponry, get their utilities, and the shootout begins with whatever they have. First few shots going to be over here by FaZe Clan. Noise secures the kill on DOK, and then on the Baron as well. He gets another DOK. That's going to be a secure order happening from their side. Losing at 2 of the team members. For 4MB, FaZe Clan looks like they're clearing up the team members here for 4MB, Contra.
Oh boy, it's just all rowdy right now. FaZe Clan really getting into the tick of things. Same goes to side of BTR, where they're just going guns blazing despite losing Zuxi so early on. My. Did we expect this to happen? Well, somewhat, you could say so.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not really too far out of the ordinary coming in for what we've been getting into majority of all these actions. Therefore, with more fights taking place, Alliance now goes up close and personal against that one Lone Ranger out of RRQ. Asa still trades right back, and he's just hugging by this tank. Is he going to be able to do much? Apparently not so, but damage being done. Rivas can still be set by the rest of Alliance. As they secure that one-pointer, there's probably even more to go.
Oh yeah, that Peekaboo sided towards Alliance, but unfortunately, Fnatic drops out on Kasim or Jimmy OP over here. Things are not over yet, and as there are still team members from RRQ providing ballistics. Where is another one? We have Fuji, we have Flax. That's going to be secure. Down goes Flax, waiting to clear out. Fuji, aka Mr. Who was it again? I did look, as well as Kasim 99. Yeah, these people tend to use their alternate names, aka Jimmy OP. If there's no assistance from Alliance, I guess, yeah. So I guess 3 of the members from Alliance will be cleared here in the hands of Team RRQ Ryu.
So much more to be done as it gets so rowdy here in this very final battle. Our bros decided, you know what, maybe it's not so worth it. Some of these players are actually bound out very early on, being unclaimed. Rosemary now going directly for the challenge. FaZe Clan sees all the ruckus over on the south side as the rest of Vampire Esports are hoping to be hot on the tails of Roy Esports. We see the jump coming in from the side of Sancher, now going up close and personal, but the shot coming from Tony K was a little bit sharper. Here comes V Fearless going into the mix. Only 2 members left for the side of STALWART Esports, but more to be done at this very moment. 2 versus a majority coming in from the rest of the Vampires, or should I say FaZe Clan, as they are being wrapped around by a whole lot of all these tiny teams hoping to take each other out. And look at BTR. They're still up on this heel side. I don't know what's going to happen in a moment in time.
Oh yeah, it's quite a standoff here between some of the teams. It's either they stick around with where they're at, or they can just have a shootout and see who is the better team over here. And does see that VP Newsy clears up Meow Meow 6. Meanwhile, Real Face from FaZe Clan clears up on Newsy. Oh man, Real Face is going to be the one going on for the clear. Meanwhile, Rosemary clears out Snape right from RQ Ryu over here, the one we saw earlier on. We haven't seen Rosemary going so crazy here in the Scrims segment. Usually we will see more of him going crazy in official tournaments. I'm guessing that he's just keeping himself for the next remaining days over here. Meanwhile, we do see some team members from BIGETRON passing by this dome and not knowing there's actually a member from FaZe Clan here on the inside. Noise doing a little bit of rotation from behind. Right, a little bit of support. Noise on real face. I am confused. Am I looking at the same logos? Oh no, it's actually zooming here. Getting off from Alter Ego. Boychill gets him. Meanwhile, Leon in the hands of FaZe Clan. And Hansel, there's so much trade-off happening here, and it's definitely going to be between BIGETRON and FaZe Clan here at the moment, Contra.
Yeah, there's just so much on the line where we're just looking at a constant mess, to be honest. Whereas, right at this very moment, it really seems like STALWART Esports, despite not really getting any points at all for the moment, are just banking on hopes that they can actually afford a little bit of a pickoff. And from the looks of it, it's just total chaos that erupts across these fields, where Fearless, he could only do so much to really trail behind the rest of these members of BTR. And once more, the narrative of this final matchup is really down to BIGETRON to really rack up those points. And yes, they will. Hans Chill now brings one more back. And that will be claimed from what it seems to be. The members of the side of NG, we're going for that quick reset. Fearless already taking note of that member inside of smoke, but it's just so sharp. That just gets taken down by Tony K, the prodigy, at only, like, what? How old is he again? 18 years old? 19 years old? The moment he started playing, he was about 15 years old, being competitive, before the rules were implemented where you got to be 16 and above. And he has always been up there, being one of the sharpest shooters hailing from Thailand. The rest of BTR still upon the hillside, whereas the Savior now enters the Thunderdome. The stadium have never seen so much noise before throughout the fields of Chicago. And of course, over on the hillside, we have Team FALCONS taking on Alter Ego.
Oh yeah, here comes a little spray from Murder. And Team FALCONS was not able to clear the kill on the opponent. And of course, they're going to be making their move. They're regrouping back with the vehicles provided. Rosemary, FPS currently here, not looking good for him as he does have a match. He's trying to help out one of his teammates to get back up on his feet. Meanwhile, Alva for Alter Ego Aries is doing a little bit of heavy lifting here for the team and doing a little bit of screening on the Team FALCONS before they actually make any sudden movement. Hans moving forward, making some magic happen over here. There are a number of crossfires happening. We have one from the high ground, we have one from the low ground, and from this side as well. There's still IC on that side and Murder on the other. And VOIN Donkey's also quite nearby, getting into the area as well. Could be a third party over here, but while all that is happening, our main focus here, Rosemary looking beautiful and handsome, making his way into the fray. And that's going to become 5 elimination points for them here at this moment. And while all that is happening, these Xaviers having their hands full, going up against Team BIGETRON here. Deku getting hit by the nade. They thrown by Leon.
The rest of the X now sees the rest of BTR cornered into that section through the map. Hans Chill, he might be taking out Cole right now, but the trades are looking phenomenal. Now it's only down to Paragen left as the rest of Vampires also send their members into the stadium. A three-way battle erupts as BTR might actually see themselves a little bit lifeline. Tony K with 5 fracks so far. Paragen does spot him out. DX does seal the deal. And all he has to focus on is to find where that final member of BTR NG is currently at. DX with a great recovery, and that rupture of battle inside the stadium comes to a close by seeking out Tony K. Chua so far looking sublime, and here comes.
Oh!
Nates sent right in from the side of GK, does connect, looking for Red Devil as well. ASI8. Oh, well, let's not talk about that, Nate, because that bounced over the wall, but here comes the shot far true. Jiki has annihilated the entirety of ASI8, and there goes your prediction.
Oh, yeah. Jiki is your ASI8 Terminator over here. Definitely a little bit cheeky over here, despite the nade was not able to traverse the course that it is supposed to go. Let's not talk about that. Yeah, I get things do happen. He had to let it out. It did mention
he got the job done. That's all that matters.
I did the job. I got the kill, man. Let's not talk about the name. But meanwhile, Rosemary here doing a little bit of spray and pray, hitting off on Potato, but was not able to connect. He's able to rejoice together with his teammate. Yet another, so there's actually two of the team members from VOIN, Donkey within the building. They do have information that Rosemary is on top of the building. Alva here on the other side in a much lower level building. And I remember Tomfin Donkey trying to make their way to the inside from the outside of the blue circle here at the moment. It does seem that the members of the team, VOIN Donkey, is going to make their sweet escape using the vehicles they can scavenger on and make their escape away from the premises. Alter Ego just making their mark, just letting people know that this is their place. This is Alter Ego Ares territory, baby.
But if you take a look at the minimap, this is just being zoned off completely by the rest of BTR that can get that firm access, and they should be able to have a great game to be the champions of the night. But speaking of which, there is Hans holding onto the compound, spots out these two members of the side of BTR. They will vacate this area, take a deeper hold because they get first dips and calls out for some good areas of play. But Alter Ego, it's not going to give them an easy win at that. BTRNG still within the run as well, because these times we're looking at majority of the Indonesians still at play to fend for the title.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's quite a surprise for me to say that. I think they didn't know they had first dibs because they never expected that no one was inside the circle when it actually appeared. And they were actually the first to actually be on the inside of here. So that's going to be quite interesting, which means that the team have to make their way up to the northwest segment here, getting themselves into the circle. Some of the ones on the outside perimeters may have to go through some of the other teams who's making their way towards inside the circle. Meanwhile, these Xavier, they are the second to arrive, and they do know that there is another team here. They don't know who it is, but there is someone. For us who's currently watching, we do know it's going to be BIGETRON here, who's going to be screening out these team members from the Xavier. Who's going to be the ones holding up the fort over here? They do have information on one of the members. It's actually up there. Lamborghini leading the charge, tries to go up, but it does seem that the napalm is being dropped on the floor, stopping him from going up the stairs. Or up the ledge, should we say. Here, a little bit of support from his team members as well. They're heading upstairs and going on for a nade and clearing up team members from BIGETRON.
I really want to get confirmation whether if that's going to be it seems to be the case. So BIGETRON Knights is the only BIGETRON standing in the way. This is a solid chance for them to overtake their brothers, to claim that #1 spot. They definitely have to thank DX for that, for clearing that very final member of NG. Rosemary, though, is not going to let this one slide so easily, as they are looking for their own chicken dinner as well. The rest of Team Secret playing by the hillside. They do have a great vantage point from the hillside, but they don't really seem to have enough space to hold out for later stages of the game. But it doesn't matter about the late stage of the game. This is stage 3. We still got a lot of time to go before all this zone closes out deeper into the mix. Whereas Hans now dropping some grenades, looking for Lepar. He's doing it all by himself. Where exactly is the rest of Alter Ego? Looking to cut across the roads, it seems. Now, Circle does favor some of the rest of the members of DX who's playing within the zone, but it might actually all conclude from the outskirts as we do get a drop over on the Han. Still a shot being connected as Lambo looks for the trade. Alba is the next one to bow out. Rosemary now tries to hold out, but the rest of BTR strikes hard. Having so little space left for Rosemary to have an impact in this matchup. And this is a familiar opponent that they've been looking at. Lambo now charges through as they are looking to fend off against the potential champions. Now only down to Satar. He has to hold out all alone. Needs to get the revives done, as there is still a little bit more on the line for Rosemary to have an impact. He takes down Chua. Top fraggers against top fraggers, as Rosemary will be succumbed with a grenade sent flying in. Satar saves the day.
He thought the fight was actually between them up against Xavier, but it seemed that BIGETRON might get the better of them. Managed to take down a Rosemary. Rosemary was going berserk just a while ago. Despite them trying to go for a nade battle, but also BIGETRON decides to go for a firepower. Meantime, BIGETRON Knights over here will be clearing up the last name member from these Xavier. And we're only left out with 3 more teams right now, Contra.
That being said, can VOIN Donkey overtake BTR? I don't think so. We might have already crowned our champions right here, right now. But Frank, he's doing all the unthinkable up against Reza, who's dealing with all these overwhelming forces of Team Secret as they remain to be the king of the hills. But what goes up might come down, as they will have to face up against the rest of BIGETRON Knights over onto these compounds. Secret now have that space. VOIN Donkey left with only 2 members remaining. Potato now being spotted out. Team Secret looking to at least salvage a little bit of something as they fought really hard. They've been consistent back in day 1. Day 2 has been a tough start, but they're looking to seal the deal. Jiki out. Gets a phenomenal spray, knocks down Vexy, so it's only 1 more remaining. It's almost impossible to go in for the save, but is BIGETRON going to be involved in this fight over the hills?
Yep, that's true. And actually, there's 2 more. Actually, we still have Jiki, and we also have SOAS Scrims from Team Secret, making the 2 team members Team Secret up against 2 from VOIN Donkey and 3 from BIGETRON. Here's the name BIGETRON uphill. It is going to go on, ready to clear out 1 of the team members, and it does seem that VOIN Donkey will be in 3rd place here after being cleared out by their opponents, leaving BIGETRON from Indonesia and Team Secret from Vietnam. Will it be Indonesia bagging in the final winner chicken dinner of the day, or will it be Vietnam over here by Team Secret? Team Secret does have the high ground, but they're down 1 play over here, making it a 2v3 situation up against BIGETRON, and BIGETRON does seem that they're going to be charging up uphill, bringing on the fire 2 of them. Despite cooking, they're going to cancel this cooks on those nades, as he dumps in. He's going to be a shootout between the teams. 1 down, 2 downs, and that's going to be it. Winner chicken dinner in the hands of BIGETRON Knights on this map number 8 in the competition Scrim. Congratulations to BIGETRON. Yeah, it's one of the 2. And BIGETRON, anyways. Congrats to them. What a way to finish the day here, Contra.
And this said, it could very well be BIGETRON Knights to overtake their siblings in order to take the crown as their champions of the Scrims. And just look at the overwhelming damage. And it's just insane that they were involved in all these fights around that Picado section and have come up on top over the course of all these battles. And I don't think that there's better narratives to be told right here, where they just show why they've been the mainstay roster for the rest of BIGETRON to play out all these international circuits. But it's definitely been quite the showing. Despite losing Zuxi so early in some of all the early battles, you saw Satar stepped up. You even saw Lapar doing all these massive flank engagements. Rosemary definitely have shown up in the very final match to claim that MVP title, but sure, he could get that limelight for this very moment. But overall, I think like it is definitely going to be these members coming from Knights to be able to be crowned as kings by the end of the run.
Oh yeah, and of course, shout out to Edwin Chia, aka Starlast. Congrats to the whole team. Brewers, Ken, amazing job on not just Team BIGETRON Knights, but also for BIGETRON NG. They did splendid here in the screens. For of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're also going to be looking at some of the top performers here. Without a doubt, Rosemary over here, he had a 1-man shootout against multiple teams at the same time. He had his hands full, Contra, but he's able to emerge on top to a certain point when Foshi gets picked off in the end, dealing 812 damage with 5 elimination points, tied up together with 20K and SOAS from Team Secret.
Yeah, it was just a perfect showing. Even we saw some of all these big battles taking place inside the city, and Vampire Esports relied on Tony K to back majority of the points. So far, it's been pretty lethal. All these players were really looking to close off Miramar in a very rapid pace, where we didn't even need to get into, stage 7, stage 8 to actually go in for the big wrap up. And it's a massive 21-pointer for BTR. That being said, I believe it's just about enough to overtake BIGETRON NG, who's only back 4 points in this match. we thank all the teams for participating. They've definitely shown us a whole lot of strength. And perhaps tomorrow onwards, we'll get even more on the Real Deal finals, as your MVP will be none other than Satar, with a total of 21 eliminations throughout the entire circuit for these past 2 days. He has definitely shown up really solid and even managing to overtake Team Falcon's very own top. So we now see a big contender for the title. So hopefully in the finals, this will be a constant coming from BIGETRON Knights. And now we take a look at the total road to MVP, where Satar in that final game have finally bested Murders, aka Top.
Oh yeah, and I think that this is some of the stats we feature over here. We have the average limbs, which is the highest with or less per round. 2.63 is just insane. Of course, if we look at average damage being dealt, it's a little bit higher, leaning more towards Falcons Murders, but he had 483 average damage per round over here, which is just insane. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is some of the top fraggers here in the competition. So we have Starless, we have Murders in second, Rosemary FPS, Haji Asep, and Falak. Wow, that's going to take 21 elimination points there for Starless. And in second, it is a 5 elimination gap here between first and second. So 21 in first place, Murders in second with 16 elimination points, followed by Rosemary 15. Tied out with Haji Asep, but Rosemary has higher damage. And Falak in fifth place from ASI 8, 14 elimination points.
That's right. So that actually wraps up some of all the action that we do have. And of course, we expect a whole lot coming in from our top fraggers heading into the finals. BIGETRON Knights with the final game overtakes BIGETRON NG to be the champions of the night, where we've seen a very competitive race coming from VOIN Donkey to be placed third. So it is a podium finish for these three Indonesian teams. And for Miracle Vibes will make it his bump spot, and Alter Ego Aries on the final hurdle claims the top 5 position. We've seen a lot of great stuff coming from Team Secret in the finals. We expect that high-flying action from the Vietnamese squad as well. Whereas, of course, the rest of the teams have definitely gotten into a decent shape, despite, not really getting as much points as necessary. But, the tides can always turn in the finals, where we will definitely see a whole lot more coming from Alliance, Team Falcons, Rame Bros, FaZe Clan Vampires, as well as STALWART Esports. So tomorrow, I think with the Real Deal being set in stone, I believe that they have a lot of adjustments to do, because a lot of these teams, they're not really showing the true form just yet, because obviously we're not getting that big party in Pecado. We're not getting these big parties in some of all these areas like Pubg. So a lot of tests of strength throughout the Scrim days. Tomorrow, when this comes down to serious business, all of these points will not matter all too much. So at least, we get a little bit of gauge of a firepower as well as power rankings at the moment. So do you like what you see, Feliva, on the course of our final day of the Scrims?
Oh yeah, I love what I'm seeing. But of course, as you mentioned, I have to echo on that this is definitely just a bit of what you can expect in the next remaining 3 days, which is the main event and stuff, as this is just a sprint. Some of these guys are still hiding their cuts up their sleeve, and I do believe that they have a lot more things to show. So don't judge them a little bit too much on this, but still a big congratulations to BIGETRON as a whole, maybe BIGETRON Knights together with BIGETRON NG for placing first and second over here. I believe that the Indonesian fans are definitely happy with their performance over here, and be sure to continue that momentum in the next remaining 3 days for the main event itself. And for the other teams itself, don't think that we forgot about you. We believe that you're hiding some stuff over here, and we're very excited to see what you have to offer in the next 3 days. Of course, you're not going to be I'm not going to be around for that ride. I believe that Contra, you're going to be there for the next 3 days. I'm going to be doing some other leaks, quite unfortunate, but you have fun, man. You have fun. But all those who's currently watching, yeah, hopefully you guys had fun with all the PUBG Mobile action happening over here, and we do hope that you're able to join us tomorrow for day number 1 of what Contra calls it, the Real Deal, happening here at our very own PUBG Mobile Ruthless Night of Champions, proudly brought to you by Ruthless Esports. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and have an enjoyable day, and have fun. Enjoy tomorrow with Contra and Esparta.